Hello, 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 everybody. It's so good to see all of your digital non-existent faces in the chat. Welcome to episode 5 of the Hounds of Mercy, Transplanar RPG's very own volume 1 of Andake Anthologies. I am your game master and producer for tonight, Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. You can find me on the internet at by Connie Chong. With that, I'm going to pass along introductions to Dare.
Hi, I'm Dare. I'm going to be playing the ever lovely Gentle. Pronouns they, she, he, mix them all up and we're all good. But yeah, no, I actually don't have a ton going on. So just check me out on Twitter and TikTok at NBDare, ENBYDARE, to see what I'm up to.
Wonderful. Hello. Thank you, Dare. Let's go over to Humna.
Hello, hello. My name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today, I will be playing everyone's favorite heartbroken rogue, Jiran. But if you want to know what else I play, what other TTRPGs I'm on, you can follow me on Twitter at @shahid_. That's where I talk about all of the different projects I'm a part of. So follow me there, and you'll be up to date.
Fantastic. Thank you, Humna. And last but not least, let's go to Quinn.
Hello, I am Quinn. I use they and or she pronouns. Really excited for this beach episode where nothing bad will happen to anyone ever again. Love being a cleric with no magic. I'm at Quintastic_ on Twitter, and then you can buy my games at quintastic.h.io. You should do that. Thanks.
Heck yeah. All right. So if you're tuning in for the first time, not sure what this is, welcome to Volume 1 of Andake Anthologies, which is a multi-part miniseries that runs alongside our main D&D campaign here on Transplanar, which is usually an all-trans POC-led D&D stream Saturdays, but for Andake Anthologies is an all-trans, all-BIMPOC series. And Volume 1 features a brand new cast that you see here below, as well as me, everyone's favorite GM. Volume 1 of Andake Anthologies is the Hounds of Mercy versus Andake. Or rather, the entire title is The Hounds of Mercy versus Mercy's 7 evil exes and all of Andake, which follows the Hounds of Mercy, a very gay, very queer, very broken monster hunting group traveling Andake in the wake of the cataclysm in order to bust some baddies, including their fearless leader's terrible exes. We're streaming for 8 consecutive Tuesdays starting several weeks ago. This is episode 5, week number 5 of our streams, and we will be streaming 3 more times. So thank you for hopping in during the midpoint. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We do have a donation goal. We smashed through it last session. Thank you all so much for donating. Our original goal was $200. We hit $269.69. Nice. So we're bumping up our total donation goal to $400. So at $275, which is like no amount of money away. That's like $5 away, right? At $300 and at $325, a random PC below will get an additional point of personal inspiration, stacking up to twice. At $350, our table is going to unlock collective inspiration, which is already on, but it might get used this session, that anyone can use at any time. And at $375, our table will unlock an auto crit that they can use to do really cool things. And at $400, we unlock the ultimate prize, a massive lore drop. Last session, the lore drop revealed that paragons are prophesized to die in order to rescue Andake. So what else can Connie come up with in terms of dropping lore? Who knows, but you can pay money to make me do it. So use !donate to get that link. And yes, all donations will be split evenly between the cast and crew for Andake Anthologies, as well as Camp McGeezy, which is an indigenous two-spirit-led collective of mostly queer anarchists who stand for indigenous rights and BIPOC solidarity, based out here in Minnesota. The folks behind Camp McGeezy are major leaders in the Stop Line 3 movement, in around the Twin Cities area, which is also where Transplanar RPG is locally located. So any amount of donations will be very helpful and go toward a great cause. So with that out of the way, just a quick plug for our main campaign, which streams Saturdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Arc 4 Episode 6 comes out this coming Saturday, October 23rd at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time. We do have a recap document. If you're like, 4 arcs? What the hell? I'm not going to tune into that because it's been going on for too long. Well, you don't have an excuse anymore. You can use !recap in chat to get a link to our recap document. You can also catch up with our podcast with past VODs posted onto YouTube. And you can also pledge to our Patreon if you love us. For as low as $3 a month, you get some cool exclusive perks. So check out our Patreon using !Patreon. With that out of the way, let's get to the Hounds, starting with a recap of what you missed last session. Dran, Gentle, and Sitlali, and of course, their leader Mercy, head up to the Court of Ravens in search of Sen's Paragon, which they're pretty sure is Oka, but it's not confirmed, but they're pretty dang sure it's Oka. Sitlali, however, doesn't really care about that, because they're confident that they are the Paragon of the Raven Queen. Our PCs, while at the court, learn a shocking truth, that the Paragons are prophesized to die in order to save Andake. And that's when Rev, the actual Paragon of the Raven Queen, shows up, gets challenged by Sitlali to a duel, and kicks Sitlali's butt. Mercy tries comforting her partner, but then she gets attacked and kidnapped by pirates. So that's basically how last episode ends. And before we get into it, some content warnings for this episode in particular, and for Hounds of Mercy in general, because it is set in a grimdark, gritty fantasy setting, we do play through subject matter that can be triggering to some viewers. So, content warnings include fantasy violence, death of animals and pets, in this episode in particular, monsters and body horror, blood and bloodletting, addiction and substance use, romance and flirting acted out on screen, references to romantic and sexual entanglements, toxic relationships, shitty people, I mean, like, really shitty people, so brace yourself, environmental disasters, refugees and displacement, and apocalyptic events. Use !CW in chat at any time for a list of these content warnings. And yeah, let's get started. Whew. Sitlali, you stand in a black room. There are no doors, no windows, no entrances or exits, no furniture or fixtures, just 4 black walls, and your own small, lonely self. You look down to see a hole in the middle of your chest, right where your heart should be. But this hole, this lack, this absence of space doesn't make you feel lighter. It's heavy. The emptiness here has volume, it has heft, it has a gravitational force. Blood, black and thick as tar, or maybe tears, you're not sure, begin to well up in this hole. The water spills down your torso, staining your legs, sloshing down the back of your spine, splashing thick and cold against your feet. And as this blood or this teardrop gushes downward, Sitlali, you hear a voice whispering from this crevice carved into your sternum. What can you do without me? Who are you without me? Nothing, Sitlali. Nothing at all.
I think Sitlali just crumples onto the ground and tries to scoop up as much as they can and put it back.
Yikes. Yeah, okay, Sitlali, you fold like a jackknife. Your knees bumping against the water, this black blood, these tears, this tar sloshing around you, rippling outward. You scoop it up and try to, like, cuff it back into your chest. But like grains of sand, this water just sloughs through your fingers and just melts down your body and splashes back onto the floor. And as you try to scoop more of it into this hole, you look down and you realize the hole is widening. The more you try to fix it, the more you try to fill it with stuff, with your own grief, with your own feelings of incompetence, the wider the hole becomes. It begins to grow, gnawing open to your sternum, to your ribcage, up to your clavicle, down to your gut, as the hole, this emptiness, this void begins to consume you. You start to disappear from the inside out. And the last thing I think that you feel, the last thing that you hear, the last thing that you sense before you're seeing your own fingers starting to wither away right in front of your eyes, you hear a name? a voice calling something very distantly. You hear, "Mercy! Mercy! Mercy!" And on that final mercy, you gasp awake from a dream. Sitlali, your eyes fly open. You're sweating, your heart is pounding, you're covered in cold sweat. You're in a bed in a darkened room somewhere. What do you do?
I'm gonna look for Mercy.
Okay, you swing your legs over the edge of this bed. You almost bang your head against this like really low ceiling of this 4-poster kind of shitty bed made from scavenged and repurposed driftwood. And like the smell of salt and brine and rotting lumber actually starts to fill your nose as you hop onto your feet, your bare feet squeaking against creaky floorboards, and you see a porthole carved into the side of your room through which a sunless light is streaming. And you hear the voice again. It's coming from beyond this portal, from outside of this room. "Mercy! Mercy, please! Mercy!"
I remember what we're doing now. And I think I sit back down on the bed, which should be holding 2 people.
But it's only holding your own lonesome self. And as the voice outside continues, you hear it go, "Mercy, please, Uncle! God! Ugh! You beat me, all right? Here's your damn gold." As like, there's sort of like a chorus of like laughter from outside, but you don't even have to go up to the window to look. You just sit there on this bed by yourself. Gentle. You stand in the middle of a crowd. Bodies push past you, busy, inattentive, their eyes fixed on things beyond the horizon you cannot perceive. You, alone, stand still as a sea of people flashes past you, humans, dragonborn, tieflings, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, minotaurs, people of every stripe and shape, all of them ignorant of your existence, brushing past you as though you were a ghost. You alone are unmoving, watching, observing like you always do on the sidelines of other people's stories. And amidst this all, you hear a voice, actually more of a sound, a weak whimper. And for just a second, the crowd thins, and you see Bud, huddled on the ground, his pelt dirty and emaciated. He's small, smaller than you're used to, smaller even than the first time you met, somehow. He looks hungry, frail. He's clinging onto life, you can tell, but just barely, and not a single soul rushing around him, these big boots stomping so close to his head, close to his paws, close to his little thin tail, stops to help. Gentle, what do you do?
I'm trying to move, and I'm also trying to activate my hand of healing. I'm just reaching for my spices. It's very panicked and frantic.
Totally. Gentle, as you lunge forward, one hand going toward the pouch of healing herbs strapped to your waist, the other one glowing with this like healing aura. You fall through the crowd toward Bud. You are not just like a ghost, Gentle. You are a ghost. You phase through these people, almost like you're incorporeal, and you stumble to a halt in front of Bud, expecting resistance from the bodies around you, but you get none. And Bud continues to whimper, his little puppy eyes starting to flutter shut for a final sleep.
I think I just try to I'm here. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I saved you. I saved you. And just still feverishly trying, despite everything.
You see Bud's ears quiver and flick in response to your voice. He can hear you. None of these other people can hear you, but this tiny little puppy can hear you. And Bud, with the last of his energy, musters his eyes to open. His wet nose twitches. He looks up and he speaks to you in the voice that Root had gifted him and addresses you.
Gentle? You saved me? But why couldn't you save Mommy?
I think I'm just silent at that.
I'm so cold.
And Bud's eyes flutter shut slowly as you watch your pup die. And Gentle, that's when you wake up.
I immediately look for Bud.
Yeah.
Immediately give Bud just like a big old hug.
Bud is curled up on the bed next to you, and as soon as you bolt awake and you hug your pup, who's a lot bigger in real life, right? A lot fluffier, right?
Mhm.
Like the fur is like nice white and gray with like some scarring over his face.
What? Gentle? Morning? Morning?
As
Morning.
you snuggle him.
Hi. Do you want? Hey, I have a fun idea. Why don't we get a special treat today?
Special treat? Treat?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bud
Well,
starts
we're gonna
licking.
find your favorite flavor today.
Bud is so excited about that. Jumps upright on this bed, big tail swishing, knocks off like a vase from like the nightstand, and it smashes against the floor. But Bud doesn't care. Bud is on your shoulders and licking your face. And you realize that Bud's licking your face a lot because if it's okay with you, I think he's licking the tears off of your cheeks. I maybe you're not even completely cognizant of the fact that you're crying.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, and Bud's licking it off, excited. And off this, Duran. Sunlight filters through chiffon curtains, dappling against your cheek like little kisses from Galtanger. A gentle breeze tickles your hair. The smell of late summer sticks to the side of your mouth, sweet and low, like a lover's embrace. Your eyes flutter open, your nose twitches, and you see Oka. Oka lies on the bed next to you, their 4 crystal blue irises searching your own eyes for something. They smile, the jagged pink scar across their lip cracking open, and they reach forward and cup the side of your jaw. And then they speak. Oh, Duran, you poor lovesick thing. You want this, don't you? You want me.
I think Duran, for a second, kind of like leans into Oka's hand and closes their eyes. But as Oka starts to speak, their eyes kind of flit open again, remembering a little bit, I think, of like the fact that Oka is gone and everything that has happened. And they just pull back and say, "No, I don't want you. Not anymore."
That's not true, Duran. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in this, too. And you pull away, but Oka's hand lingers in the air, and it lowers to a thread, a red thread, that is extending from your chest and connects to Oka's chest, and like pulls on this thread of fate and like plucks at it, almost as though it's like a string of the weave, and like a note rings out, crystal clear, a gentle, soft note. And Oka looks back up and says, "You still want me. I can feel it, even though you can't have me." Isn't that sad, Duran? Isn't that pathetic? Even though you know I'll never be yours, I never wanted to be yours, I never was yours.
I think Duran just grabs the thread and tries to like break it apart and like probably can't do it. But with every attempt, he's just like, "I do not want you anymore."
I think the more you pull on this thread, like the tauter and stronger and thicker the thread becomes, and it pulls your body toward Oka's, actually, like in this bed, and like the blankets are starting to get like rumpled up as you're like forced together like magnets attracted, right? And like when your chests are so close and you're so close to touching, Oka just like smirks in your face. You can feel their breath like against your cheek. Oh no, darling, no. You could never be the one. Let me show you how it's done. and they snap the thread. And as they do, the bed falls away from you, and you're just like tumbling through space with Oka, who these huge like angelic wings like splay open, right? And they flap once, and it's like suddenly you're falling in slow motion down away from Oka. They're up there, like illuminated, silhouetted like a fucking demigod against the glowing aura of their wings, while you're so far down below them, looking up at them, their face cast in shadow from this halo of light emanating behind their head. And you feel so small, insignificant the way they're looking at you. Like you mean nothing to them.
As I'm falling, Jaron holds their hand out and just kind of yells, Oka, please, don't let me fall.
And then the tips of their wings, which were ethereal and ghostly, ripple inward toward their shoulder blades and turn real. Like the feathers gain physical form. They stop glowing. The light shatters away from them like puzzle pieces or glass being smashed against concrete. The light dies down, and then their face sinks into dark relief. And they're no longer smirking in this really smug, indifferent way. There's a look of panic on Oka's face, almost like a genuine expression. Their double-pupiled eyes latch onto yours as their laugh subsides, and they just sort of gasp, Jaron? What? What is this? What? And then their eyes slide past your head to see something behind you that you can't perceive. Their eyes widen. And then Oka crumples backward, as though some powerful force just punched them in the solar plexus. They fold into darkness, and you gasp awake.
I think immediately Jaron tries to like look behind them to see if there's something there.
In the last moment, okay, make an Arcana check. Make an Arcana check, all right? Okay.
Please, dice, be nice to me. Wait. We have collective inspiration. Okay, cool. Wait, we don't. Okay.
Yep.
Hopefully. Okay, I got a 14. Should I use the inspiration?
14 is above average, but you can try. You might get a nat 20. You never know.
I'm going to use it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, 21.
Oh, okay, 21. You spin around in this void right before you gasp awake, right? And you see flickering out of existence, right? You catch just the tail end of it. A glowing red eye. Just sort of like etched against this shadow, dripping with a single black and red tear. And then poof, you gasp awake.
I think the first thing that Jaron is going to do is illogically look for Oka in the room.
Okay, make a perception. Just kidding. Oka's not here.
They're in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, no, they're standing there. They're T-posing menacingly. No, you wake up in a small 4-poster bed. It's real dusty in here. Smells like beer and brine. And you also have like a tiny little porthole like carved into the wall next to your room where light's shunting through.
I think they're just like sitting upright in bed still and like panting almost. And they just kind of take a moment to collect themselves, going, okay, it was just a dream. It's just a dream. They're not here. That's not real. And I think they're thinking about that eye that they saw, as well as they're saying that, trying to convince themselves that like, this is not real. This doesn't mean anything. It's just a bad dream.
But despite that all, your heart is pounding against your rib cage. Sweat is trickling, down your neck, and your like white hair is sort of plastered against your skin. But you try to shake the final strands of dream away from your consciousness. It's time to wake up. Not just for you, Jaron, but for you, Gentle and Bud, and Sitlali. It's time for the 3 of you to wake up and recommence your search for mercy.
I think Jaron is going to probably very slowly get ready for the day. They're gonna maybe, I don't know, are we even taking showers on this boat?
What's interesting is Jaron would know you're not actually in a boat. And maybe this is a good time for me to, okay, so at this point, can I pilot Jaron for like half a second and say that maybe you go over to the porthole and you look out? Right? Like maybe rubbing sleep from your eyes, you like look out of this porthole. And you see, as do all of you, right? If you're glancing outside your window, the Red Lagoon. The Red Lagoon is an uncharted island in the middle of the southern Hema Sea, somewhere south of the Dragonfang coast of Nabal and north of Rangapuni Island in the kingdom of Uhanahi. It's a magnificent isle 12 miles long, and the Red Lagoon's wave-dappled shores bend on its southern side to form a crimson crescent. The water's glimmering scarlet from a special algae breathing within its coral reef, similar to the Red Sea here on Earth. Trees bearing tropical fruits line the coast. Crabs scuttle through the sand. A breeze ruffles the brush-shaped tops of koa trees brimming on a faraway mountain. And nestled in the center of the Red Lagoon, half a mile away from the glittering ocean, is the Wreck. The Wreck is the name of the one and only town on the Red Lagoon, comprised of multiple beached ships, double-hulled canoes from Uhanahi, junks from Tulong, brigs and cutters and galleons from Nabal. Nature has long since reclaimed these ships. Nature and pirates. That's right, pirates! They've repurposed each of these ships into homes, inns, parlors, shops. And all of you see as you look outside your portholes, the body of a massive schooner that's been flipped upside down, propped up on two of its 3 broken masts, and now serves as a seedy bar for pirates to get wine and beer. You see a shantytown cobbled together from the scavenged canvas of sails. You even see, in the center of the wreck, the town square. A raised platform constructed from so much salvage, lovingly dubbed the Helm. Jaron, Sitlali, and Gentle, the 3 of you had arrived at the Red Lagoon late last night. Up until this point, you'd spent several weeks, I think, tracking Mercy over the ocean. And the last we left you, you'd been perched on the Raven's throat next to the obsidian castle in the Court of Ravens. Your fearless leader had been struck by a poisoned arrow, and then she'd fallen over the edge. The 3 of you had heroically rushed to her rescue, but you'd been just a touch too late. She'd plummeted into the icy waters at the bottom of the cliff, and she'd been claimed by a sleek and agile ship lurking within the fog. All the 3 of you saw was a black hull and even blacker sails, before Mercy's seafaring kidnappers absconded with your leader in tow. And so, tea plans were put on hold, a Paragon quest suspended. The 3 of you needed to track Mercy down, and so you did. Which brings us here. And I think we're going to swivel away from this wreck, back into the portal where Jaron is. And I think, Jaron, if I can soft retcon something, as you're standing there looking out, something in bed stirs. And I think it just sinks in to you at this moment that you're not alone. And you hear like a kind of sleepy voice, like from the bed, just go, morning, lover.
Morning. Who? No, I shouldn't ask that. Good morning. How did you sleep last night?
A svelte half-elf pulls themselves up from the mattresses, right? They sort of like lean against the headrest with the pillow. You see sort of like top surgery scars. They've got this like dark tanned skin with like red freckles covering every inch of their forearms and like a nice spattering of freckles across their face as well. And this tangled dark hair with like streaks of red running through it. They yawn and like rub the base of their neck, and they pull out a rolled cigarette and light it. which is very similar to what Oka does. But this kind of cigarette and tobacco is different from the kind that Oka smokes. I had fun last night, did you?
Yeah, can I actually bum one off you?
Yeah, of course. Shoot. It's my last one. You want to share?
Sure, why not?
The half-elf holds out the cigarette for you. I'm gonna make you roll to remember their name, I think.
Oh, God!
I think I'm gonna make you do that. I think that's gonna
rolling?
be a wisdom history check. So use
History?
wisdom,
Okay.
wisdom as your base score, and add proficiency in history if you have it.
22.
22.
Let's go. Come on.
Okay, the DC was 24.
Oh my
I think what this means is you remember the first syllable of their name.
God. Okay.
But you say but?
No, I think bud. I can play it off.
Quote unquote Bud raises an eyebrow at you. Did you forget my name?
No, of course not. That's just what I call everyone affectionately.
You call people you hook up with Bud after you.
It's my
do you,
thing.
Do you slap him on the back and say "Good going, champ"?
Would you like me to?
Try it.
And Jeron does. They slap this person, Bud, on the back, and then say, like, they lean in close into their ear, and they say, "Good going, champ." And then they take the cigarette from their hand.
Okay, roll a charisma seduction check. I guess it
Is
would be
there a
performance.
seduction skill?
No, I guess it's performance.
Okay. Oh, please be kind to me, Dice. I'm trying so hard. Oh no, 8. Oh no.
You have inspiration. C gave you a point of inspiration.
Oh my
Redeemed
God,
it with their
C,
channel
thank
points.
you. I'm
You don't have to
using
use it there. Okay, great.
Oh, nat 20! God bless C, you're a champ.
Can we talk about the evil of using C's inspiration redemption for this?
Look, this is what C gave it to me for. Let's be real.
Quote unquote Bud shivers as you pat them on the back and say, "Good going, champ." They go, yes, daddy.
Jeron just takes a drag of the cigarette, and just kind of like eyes this person and says, "Wait, did they actually say my name yet, or no?"
No.
Okay.
No, they hadn't.
Just to flip the script, Jeron is going to then look at them and say, "Do you even remember my name?"
Jaron Kadir, you're from Morose. You're traveling with a group of mercenaries. One of your friends has a dog.
I don't remember telling you so much about me.
Well, I was occupying you a little while you were saying these things to me, so I'm not surprised you don't remember. Name's Buck, by the way.
I knew that.
Uh-huh. Well, you're lucky you're cute.
Aren't I, though? And I think Jeron just kind of like walks over, still with the cigarette, like he hasn't given this back yet, is gonna take another drag. This is a lot. And they're actually going to go and like pull out a piece of parchment. And even though they had tried really hard to like forget or like convince themselves that the nightmare they had was just a nightmare, they are going to try and like scribble down a picture of that eye that they saw, just like absentmindedly, like trying to like half pay attention to this conversation and half do this before the dream goes away, because they want to remember that for later.
Smart. With your high arcana roll from earlier, I think you're able to do a pretty dang good reconstruction of the eye that you saw, right? As you're scribbling it down. Buck sort of leans forward with interest. What's that?
Just a bad dream.
You dream about eyes crying?
It's not crying. It's like blood, I think. Do you know anything about it?
Ooh, how goth and grisly. Well, I knew a girl several years ago who, whenever she cried, would cry blood. Does that count?
Actually, it might.
Okay. Well, I don't know what she's up to now. Oh, wait, I do remember. She died. Yeah. Captain
That's not really
Sure-
helpful, Buck.
Captain Sure executed her for being too pretty. Sort of outdid her. But you didn't hear that from me. I love the captain.
I think Duran just kind of looks at Buck, like looks them up and down, and just goes, I'm surprised you weren't executed for the same thing.
I know my place, especially around pretty people. And Buck, like, thumbs your chin.
I think Duran is just going to, like, lean in and kiss Buck.
Buck makes a little noise against your mouth and leans in and kisses you back. And maybe at this point we could, like, hop over to someone more wholesome, like Gentle. Gentle, you have promised your puppy a treat. How are you acquiring the treat?
I think I'm sort of trying to help Bud pinpoint like what's his favorite flavor. Like what does he like flavor wise?
Bud is really into spicy things and umami things.
All right, we're going on a spice hunt then.
Okay.
I think by the time everyone first started getting up, Gentle was already like dressed and ready, and just like use this as a convenient excuse of, oh well, Bud and I are gonna go get food. We're probably gonna go out for anything spicy. Does anyone want us to bring stuff back? And just use that.
Are you knocking on people's?
I am.
Let's say you knock on Sitlali's door first, and you sort of say this through the door. You exit out into the hall, which is sort of like, this is like a repurposed upside down ship. Used to be really big, and this has been repurposed into like a tavern with like a inn space on the second floor, which was the first floor because it's flipped upside down now. And the second floor, which was below deck, now serves as like rooms that they rent out. So you walk down the hall and you knock on Sitlali's door and you say this. Sitlali, what do you do?
I don't answer the door.
Fair enough. Well, I'll probably grab extra spices just in case to, like, make any soups have a little bit more kick. So if you want any of that, just let me know. And I just sort of head and knock on Duran's door afterwards.
Duran kind of panics. I imagine this is happening like mid-kiss. And so Duran kind of panics, like pulls away a little from Buck and just goes, yes, I'm busy. What is it?
Bud and I were gonna go get some spicy foods and like some spices. So I was wondering if you wanted any.
Ooh, can you pick up a mala packet for me?
Oh my god, Buck.
What?
Sure.
Thank you.
Just give me 1 second. And Duran is gonna go to the door and like open it just a crack and like poke their head out. Be like, yeah, I actually will have the same thing. But don't get one. Don't get two. Just get one.
I was about to ask in Morosi if you only wanted me to get one.
Yes. I respond back in Morosi, yes.
And both of you here in perfect Morosi behind. Two, please, actually.
I guess get two. I'm going to eat both of them, though.
Okay. I'm going to go get 3. Oh no. Yeah, I think I go and get like a nice cut of meat and like make sure I prep it and spice it to like perfection. And it's gonna be like one of the good ones.
Okay. Gentle, you stalk downstairs. I think you like climb down the ladder that used to like head up. I'm not very good with directions, so just bear with me here. You climb down a ladder and you hop onto the main floor of this repurposed tavern. And you sort of see like a mermaid like behind the bar and like the big words in common that spell the siren song, right? The former name of this ship. And there's sort of like a lizard folk, a barkeep behind the bar scrubbing out glasses, and it's already bustling. It's maybe 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning, and like patrons are already like getting big mugs of beer, getting like shot glasses already, getting wasted in the morning, grabbing like big cups of wine as well. But you're following your nose, right? So you exit the siren song and you maybe shield your eyes against the sunless light filtering down, tropical light beaming down against your shoulders. And Bud is trotting along happily, playing with the sand beneath his paws. And you enter into the market square, the wreck. You smell meat. Delicious roasting meats from like a nearby stand where someone's just like open grilling meat over like a flame, and you see like carcasses of like I think wild hogs that like roam this island, like strung up and dressed and skinned already, and they're dressing it up. Something else you notice that's really interesting is the wreck is starting to get into some hustle and bustle. Almost like the people here are preparing for an event of some kind. You see like pirates. They're clearly pirates. They've got eye patches, they've got peg legs, they've got hook hands, right? They've got these like nasty leather armor on. They've got parrots and cats and dogs and familiars fluttering all around, toucans following them everywhere. Hustling about, putting up colorful bunting. You see like a group of like 4 pirates like lugging a single huge boar that was hunted clearly very early this morning, and they're heave, ho, heave, hoeing this boar to like a central slaughtering area where they can like dress it and start to clean it. What do you do?
First mask on defo.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if that's gonna help me look more or less piratey, but we'll find that out. And I just I'm like, Bud, lead the way, first off. Trust your nose on which seems the tastiest to you.
Bud is going straight for that huge hog.
Had a feeling.
Yeah, Bud is... and starts to, like, trot toward it.
This is like the people moving it. Hi, I had a question.
Here to help?
Says, like, a really fucked up looking gnome.
If I could potentially get a piece of that, then absolutely.
And like all of the other pirates start laughing as well. Like one of them slaps their knee, the knee pops off. They pick it up and pop it back into their socket. And when they stop laughing, the gnome says, "Are you out of your mind? A piece of this special boar for our captain? For our queen? Do you have a death wish?"
No, but I want to take care of my little guy. And I just like gestured a Bud.
There's plenty of hog trimmings and fats and knuckles and chicken feet strewn all over this island. This is prime rib for our queen.
Does your queen need the entire thing? I understand if she does. I don't want to like question dietary concerns. But how about if I help prep it, can I get a small portion for my friend?
You a chef?
Yes.
Well, none of us are trained chefs per se. We could use a chef.
I was already going on a spice run.
Why don't you roll, let's say, wisdom persuasion? So use wisdom as your base score and add persuasion proficiency if you have it.
Thank God. Okay, so that is 19. Oh, wait, hold on. Dirty 20.
Well, all right. Why don't you find the spices first, youngin', and we'll see if it's a good mix. Come back to us.
Captain likes.
She likes real sweet, just like her, and real sweet marinade. Nothing spicy.
And at that, Bud lets out a and like the tail droops.
Does Bud understand Morosi?
Yes.
I go down and I like rub Bud's head and I'm like, sorry, buddy, and then whisper in Morosi, I can prep your piece separately, don't worry.
Yes, okay.
Says Bud and Morosi, and the gnome goes,
Do that? I've had one too many ale.
Yeah, I mean, what's too many? I can't be the judge for your personal needs. Yeah, so I will get maybe a sugary and like honey sweet marinade to sort of glaze over it, and then a few other things I'll need. So I will be back in. When do you want me to start prepping this?
Well, it's gonna take us a while to skin and dress this massive fucker. Come back in about an hour.
Oh, I can do that.
All right. Oh, we're gonna eat well tonight, boys.
I think while waiting, I also will buy Bud like some jerky or something. I'm just ignoring them now.
Okay. You go over to like a meat stand where I think you see like a lizard folk person who has 4 arms, and each of the arms are like cooking a different thing. I think it's like a multi-limbed. Are those things that exist in real life, like multi-limbed lizards? Lizards that have 6 legs? Well, in Andake they exist. This lizard has six arms, and it's just sort of like cooking a bunch of things, curing meats, like flipping eggs, right? Stir-frying tomatoes, chopping up scallions, right? And as you approach, you barter with them a little bit, and they toss you a bit of jerky for Bud. And on Bud, snapping up a piece of spicy jerky.
Yummy. Spicy.
We're gonna cut back into the siren song to Sitlali.
Okay, so we were able to track Mercy here. Do we know more than the description of the ship, or are we still looking for more intel?
That is a great question, and I'm gonna have you make an intelligence investigation check to see how much you know up until this point.
Does it have to be intel? Can it be charisma because I'm real pretty?
Is that how you would have?
Can it be wisdom because I'm real wise?
You know what? I will allow a wisdom investigation check, just because you're sort of like relying on your memory and your knowledge of the ocean and the natural world as opposed to like straight intelligence.
Thank you. Okay, I've already forgotten what I was rolling.
Wisdom investigation.
Wisdom investigation. Cool. Tight. Well, it's a nat 20. And I'm profit. One more time, because I don't have a brain.
Wisdom investigation.
Okay. So 25.
Yeah. So the ship you've been following is a junk. It's a kind of ship, kind of endemic to Tulong. And it was a really fast junk. So I think y'all were able to like get a ship from the court, maybe even like charter a crew to help bring you here or something, or maybe I think y'all piloted it yourselves. I don't think there's another crew here with you. Maybe through a series of mishaps and misadventures, right, that happened off screen. Really fast. I think with a 25, you were able to catch a glimpse of who you assume is Mercy's captor on like the helm one day, right? Like otherwise it's been really foggy, really stormy. They've been too far away, but maybe through like a telescope, you were able to see her. Just her silhouette. Has sort of like long hair that fanned out behind her, like flowing in the wind, kind of gray. And she wore this like big triangular, like kind of like captain's hat. But that's all you really saw of her. And sort of like a rippling coat, a leather coat. And that's it. That's all you saw of her. You followed her to this island. I think the ship that Mercy's on lost you and was a day ahead. And then you found this island and you didn't see the ship anywhere else. So you assumed it was this island. As you approached the island, you saw the junk, the black junk that you were following, like docked at the harbor. So you knew that she's here. Now you just have to find her in the wreck, this town.
Excellent. Okay. I think I finally come out of the room, just kind of bang on Duran's door, but don't say anything and just go down and order a No, it's gin. Yeah, straight gin.
Okay.
And you can tell Sitlali has not been sleeping well, and like they have their normal journal, but like how if they can find like a corner somewhere, like that would be great, TM.
Yeah.
And then like they open up their journal and it's got like pages of notes and trying to figure out how to make this work, and like what we know and what we've seen, and like an attempt at a drawing of the junk and like people we've seen on the junk, and
Yeah.
So I think they get a drink and get to work and are expecting John to eventually emerge.
Okay, you hole up, you order a gin, and you start pouring over your notes and just like sketching stuff out, writing ideas, like trying to piece all the puzzle pieces together. And we are gonna cut from Sitlali up to Duran as bang, there's like a knock at the door, and then you all hear Sitlali's footsteps like move down the hallway. Duran, I think at this point, Buck has been trying to entice you back into bed with them.
I think the banging on the door from Sitlali is probably like a regular occurrence at this point every morning. Like I imagine it's been some time that we've been here, or sorry, you said we've been here for a day now. We got here last night. I imagine that Sitlali has been very like laser focused on finding Mercy for quite some time. So it's probably not a big stretch for him to realize like that's who is banging on their door right now. So they kind of just like sigh as the door as they hear the banging on the door, and they kind of look back at Buck, who I imagine is probably like already on the bed. I really shouldn't.
Come on, lover boy. You don't strike me as the kind of person who does things that they're asked.
Well, I mean, you would know that now, wouldn't you?
Come on. It's 9 a.m. What, you have to be off to drink?
No, it's complicated. I have to get to work, technically.
You know, that's something you wouldn't tell me last night. Even when I did, the thing with my tongue. Why are you here?
I told you, for work.
Work. Well, you sure don't walk like a pirate. You don't talk like a pirate. What are you, a mercenary?
Am I dangerous enough to be one? What do you think? And I think Duran just kind of like turns around a little bit, shows off their sword.
What? Which?
No! I said it, and no, that's not what I meant. Bonk at all of you.
Buck says, you... Again, you're very lucky you're so attractive. I can't entice you for 1 more minute. I'm not even good for 60 more seconds.
Okay, but only if you can make it quick. And I think Duran does go back.
I'm not gonna ask for saving throw necessarily. Why don't you just make like a wisdom check?
I'm sorry, a saving throw?
What? for resisting the this cute little half elf.
Right.
Just like make a wisdom check.
Oh my god, I swear to god I'm not lying. I got a nat 20. I swear to god I'm not lying.
Oh my god, that's the third nat 20 in like the first hour. Oh my god. Blowing all your luck in that first half, I guess. Okay, you're able to like have compos mentis, like have a sound mind, right? As Buck's trying to like get you back into bed, and like 60 seconds, you're like you gotta go. And even though Buck's being really cute and really flirty and really sweet and doing the thing with her tongue, you're still able, if you want to, like to just leave. And like a minute passes, and they're still trying to pull you back into bed.
I think Duran feels bad enough about the way that all of this has gone down for Sitlali specifically, like knowing that Sitlali and Mercy had slept together, but also clearly are developing something between the two of them that they refuse to talk about. But clearly there's something going on, and like it's obvious that Sitlali is having a really bad time with it, and remembering that Duran is still guilty about the thing that happened between the two of them. I think all of that is kind of what's helping him sort of stay level-headed in this moment, and what pulls him away and allows him to leave.
Mm-hmm. So as you like get out of bed, Buck goes, okay, fine. Ooh, I know this perfect little fish shack that makes amazing congee in the morning.
Okay, how about this? I'll be gone for, let's say, just an hour or two, okay? And then we'll have not breakfast, but brunch instead.
Oh, okay. Okay, mixed busy person. I'll meet you back here then.
Okay. Just don't touch anything while you're here.
It's a little too late for that, hun, don't you think?
You know what I mean. And I think Duran makes a point to take their pack that has like the cigarette box that Oka gave them with them.
Bye-bye, lover boy. Why do the pretty ones always have to be so moody? As you exit the room and stalk down the ladder. And I think you see Sitlali in like a corner of the Siren Song, like scrawling very intently in their notes.
I think Jaron like quickly grabs like a beer from the bar before sliding into, I imagine we're in like a booth in some corner somewhere, before sliding in with the beer, and just kind of looks at Sitlali. Morning. Did you sleep well?
Morning. Did you find out anything useful?
There's a goth pirate somewhere around here who likes to...
many goth pirates. Jaron, you're going to have to be a little more specific.
This one likes to execute people for being pretty. Mercy's probably not a victim. I'm kidding. It was a joke, Sitlali. Come on.
Okay, well, did you find out a name? Did you get a description? Do we know about the hair and the coat and the... Did you find out who is running the place? Are they in charge of something? Are they important?
They sound important. If they're executing people, right? We can...
Well, they're pirates. Pirates can kill people all the time, right? That's like a thing.
Right, that is a thing. We can ask if you want.
That would be great. What's their name?
Buck.
You have fun?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My room is next to yours, Jaron.
Well, then you should know the answer to that question, shouldn't you?
Yeah, but I kind of wanted to hear you say it.
Sitlali, that you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear about that.
I mean, are you telling me what I do and do not want now? Because like I asked a question very directly and I know what I want. So
Okay, Sitlali. Yes, I had fun. I'm sorry that I didn't spend last night asking Buck about the pirates, but we can do that now if you would like.
You can do that, certainly, Daddy.
I think Jaron just takes a long swig of their drink, puts it down. Sitlali, we're all here to find Mercy. It's not, trust me, you are not the only one that cares about doing that. I just think that for once, maybe we could also let loose a little. Have a vacation.
Right, because we never let loose before, right? Okay. Yeah, sure, fine. Slot it up as much as you want, but like make sure it's useful when you do it. Because we're kind of on a schedule.
Okay. I promise every time somebody comes into my room, I will ask them about Mercy.
Or you come into someone else's room.
Or that.
Or you do it outside. I don't know your life.
We don't need to get into this.
I mean, we could. No, and they go back to their notes that they have clearly gone over like 100 times.
What did you find out last night, though?
What do you mean, what did I find out last night?
Well, looking information about Mercy, right?
Don't you remember I turned in early? Or were you already too fucked up for that?
I didn't know what it was that you were going to do. I thought maybe you were going to go over the information one more time.
No, I got a great night's sleep. Well, as best as I could. Considering.
Sitlali, how are you doing? Like,
fine,
actually.
Fine.
No, but actually.
I'm super.
I know Mercy not being around is hard. Trust me, I know. But we will find her.
Of course we will. I'm not worried about that.
She's here. What are you worried about?
Nothing. I'm worried about you not being useful enough to me on this mission.
Okay. How can I be more useful?
Well, the more people you fuck, the more info we get, right?
Okay.
At this point, a barmaid swings by and sets down 2 little bowls of congee. They're a half-orc woman with this sort of like short asymmetrical bob, black hair cut down. Very pretty with these like glistening tusks. They set it down and they sort of wink at Jiran and say, "On the house." And they sort of turn and start to stride back toward the bar.
I think I look back at Sitlali and I ask, "That one then?"
Barmaids do tend to know things, don't they? And they just finish their drink in one, like, chug.
Okay, but just know, doing this because you asked.
Sure, that's definitely the only reason.
Only reason.
Mhm.
And I think Jiran walks up and goes over to the barmaid.
Okay. On Jiran approaching the bar, we're gonna cut to Gentle, who is on a very wholesome ingredients retrieval quest. So, why don't you, as you're just looking for good, like, stuff to, like, add to this marinade, just make a general foraging check for me. So this will be Wisdom Survival.
Okay, sure. Somewhere jumps to like, I hope Jiran and Sitlali are okay. That's a 19.
That's good. Yeah, you sort of go around the wreck, and not only are you able to find like good ingredients like rock sugar and like nutmeg and like nice little sauces that you just sort of put in your pouch and like keep going, you also familiarize yourself with the wreck a bit more, because whereas the rest of your party is staying inside Siren Song, you're like getting to know the area. And you notice that there are several large big shipwrecks sort of arranged in like a crescent shape around the central helm, which is almost like this massive stage, right? And you're noticing that pirates are like like heaving large set pieces and pieces of furniture onto the helm. You see like a big banquet table is getting set up toward the back, but you also see like these like 2 like halflings constructing what appears to be some sort of arch, almost like an archway you can walk through toward the back of the helm. But they're in the middle of making it, and it still doesn't look painted yet, right? They're also setting up little like torch stands. Fire hasn't been lit yet. It's some sort of event is happening later tonight, and you get like a lot of like hubbub and buzzing of like excitement amongst the pirates as they go about their day. And you see like food and drink vendors are like clearly prepping for like bigger courses later tonight.
I think with all that, I definitely make sure I get the spice that I also promised I get Jiran. And I maybe, if there's anyone who looks nice, who's the nicest looking pirate, I might ask a question.
Make a perception check, because that is going to require a perception check for a nice pirate. Also,
No,
C says Gentle in the corner playing Cooking Mama.
you're not wrong. Mama will help you. That's an 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. You scan the area and your eyes land upon a changeling who seems to be kind of in charge of directing things, I think, like on the helm, but they're really nice, almost like Minnesotan nice about it, you know? Like they've got this like pale, almost like translucent, like white skin on, and they have this like white hair, similar to like Sitlali, actually, because they're the same species. White hair sort of done up in this ponytail that sort of flows down, and this like beautiful sort of like smoky eye, like makeup look going on their face. They're wearing this sort of like a corset that sort of shows off their bust, and like a really fancy little cape on, right? And like these like high-waisted khaki-colored trousers and these like big like leather boots and like a belt with a rapier attached to the side. And they're sort of like, oh, can those lanterns go over there? Thank you so much, darling. And oh, no, not over there. The captain likes it when we get to smash the ceremonial pumpkins at the end. Okay, thank you. You're a darling. And they're like directing people here and there.
I just raised my hand again.
Are you at the base of the helm?
I like make a cough
at the foot
and
of the
just
stairs?
raise my hand. Yeah.
Yes, and don't forget to put the... Oh! Hi, can I help you?
Hi. I had a question or two. I'm just kind of curious what's happening, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh! You must be a newcomer here. Well, welcome to the Red Lagoon. This is a wonderful day for you to join our little community here. Why, of course, we're getting ready for the wedding.
Wedding?
Mm-hmm. Our glorious, esteemed Captain Sure is finally getting married.
To who? I love weddings.
Well, to her long-lost love, of course, whom she rescued from the grips of a group of thieving pirates. I mean, we're all thieving pirates, but they were even worse.
Honor amongst thieves.
Exactly. I mean, they tried to steal from her, and no one steals from the captain. Not if her first mate is watching. And this changeling sort of dusts off her pauldrons.
I think I may actually offer to help with it. Is there a pig involved or a big hog involved?
Yes.
Yes,
Captain Sure
I'm doing the marinade.
Oh, you are. Oh, you must be a chef then. One of the special chefs we kidnapped. I mean, we hired for this event.
Oh, I was hired.
Good.
I do have a question. Can I know the name of the lovely betrothed so I can put it on? So maybe I'll do some little bit of decorative plates for the captain.
Of course. Oh, of course. Well, by the end of the night, she'll be Mrs. Yang. Sorry, I need to retcon that. I forgot how Chinese names worked. By the end of the night, she'll be Mrs. Sure. Mercy Sure.
Oh. When do I need to be back for actually prepping the food again? They said generally an hour, but I don't know. Are they still doing okay on time?
I don't know about that. You should ask the quartermaster. I'm dealing with things up here, and I'm not much of a cook myself.
Okay, and I'm so sorry. I forgot to get your name.
Of course, First Mate Agora.
Alright, so if I have any questions about decorations or something.
Certainly, honey. And, why the mask? Ooh, is your face horrifically scarred or burned?
No, it's mostly a comfortability thing.
I see. Well, Captain Sure doesn't like not being able to see everyone's face at all times, so just a note for you, maybe take the mask off during the ceremony. You don't want to get beheaded.
Now, or?
Now's okay. She's, having her pre-nuptials, I suppose, currently, so she's a little distracted. But later tonight, certainly.
Okay, I guess, just so you know who I look like, because I'll be showing up without a mask or with my mask up, and I just quickly showcase my face for a half second.
Aren't you just the cutest little thing?
Very flushed. Thank you. Put it right back down. Thank you. I will be back to let you know. I did just find all the seasonings and stuff, so progress is good on my end. I'll check in with the quartermaster in a little bit.
Great, thank you so much. Can't wait to taste your pig. Well, of course, we probably won't be able to taste it. It'll just be the first mate and her wife. They're just gonna have the finest cut of the pig, of course, and then they're gonna chop it up and put it on a big bonfire and light it all up.
Oh, I can at least make sure there's enough for a sauce to at least go around the party.
Oh, no. No, the pig is just for the captain and her wife.
Okay, understand.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions, ask Quartermaster Rory, or you can direct questions to me, First Mate Agora. Thank you so much for cooking.
Oh, of course. I will be back in a bit. It was lovely to make your acquaintance.
Lovely to meet you as well, darling. Mwah.
Mwah. And I just walk off.
Bud walks with you and is growling a little after meeting this person and is rubbing up against your leg and just sort of mutters under his breath,
I don't like her. I don't like any of this, Gentle. I don't like these people. They're so rough around the edges and mean.
you're right, bud.
And they won't let everyone eat the big pig? Well, that big pig could feed a dozen different puppies, a dozen little wolves.
You are right, and I am going to make sure that pig is not going to waste. I'm also
Okay.
going to make sure Mercy doesn't get married, because I don't think she wants to get married to the captain. I'll let Sitlali know. I'll make sure this is okay with Sitlali.
Okay. Well, what if they're in love?
We can't. I don't think Sitlali will like to hear that part.
Oh.
I think they were a thing. It seemed like they were a thing, you know?
Mercy seems to have a lot of people that she was in love with.
You know, that's just how Mercy is. Mercy is someone who has a big heart, and lots of people care for her, but she's not really good at saying goodbye or see you later, it seems. So she'll get there. We can't talk about this in front of Sitlali. I don't think this is a good conversation for later. So we can table this in a little bit.
Okay. More food?
Feels like bribery. Yes.
Ooh, yay. Okay. You give me more jerky and I will yacht toast it, Lolly.
Bud, we're going to have a talk about this later, too. I'm going to give Bud food, and then we'll head back to the tavern.
Okay. And on Gentle and Bud, like, walking away from the helm, we see, like, with your backs turned, they're stringing up, like, a garland that spells out Mrs. and Mrs. Sure, right? With, like, these floral decorations, one of them which looks like a woman with, like, long, flowing gray hair, and the other of which looks like a half-orc fighter. On those floral garlands, we're going to cut to a break. We will be back in 10 minutes. Thank you everyone for tuning in so far. It's 8:13 here. We're going to be back by 8:23 or so. Enjoy the music and our BRB art drawn by our very own C. Thomas, Pie Sharp Art on Twitter. Speech. See you in 10. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of Hounds of Mercy. Thank you all for your patience as I sorted out some health issues on my end. Really appreciate it, y'all. But we're back and we're ready to go. So as a reminder of content warnings for this episode and for Hounds of Mercy in general, they may include fantasy violence, death of animals and pets, though I think we're mostly past that now, monsters and body horror, blood and bloodletting, addiction and substance use, romance and flirting acted out on screen, references to romantic and sexual entanglements, toxic relationships, shitty people, environmental disasters, refugees and displacement, and of course apocalyptic events. So yeah, you can use !CW at any point in chat to get a list of these content warnings written out for you by our bot. And with that out of the way, let's hop back into the action. Gentle. You and Bud make your way back into the Siren's Song. The tavern comprised of a ship's hull flipped upside down, propped up on masts. The lower levels now comprising the upper levels of this inn. And you find Jiran and Sitlali flush amongst this crush of people. And maybe you even like flash back to your dream from earlier that morning where you're just alone amidst like just a sea of people. But what snaps you out of it is Bud bounding forward, weaving through people's legs, and hopping up into the corner booth that Jiran and Sitlali have found for themselves. I think this is when Jiran has gotten up, is in the middle of getting up and like heading over to the bar. What do the three of you do?
Hi. I may have something important.
Important's good. What's up?
I think Jiran's gonna come and sit back down into the booth upon hearing that this is something important.
Did you guys get me or Bud anything, by the way? It's okay if you didn't. I'm just curious.
Oh, food.
Do you want a drink?
Could dabble.
Okay. Jiran will then actually go and get a drink for Gentle.
Grab me a double.
I got you. No worries.
Jiran, you head over to the bar where you find that same half-orc barmaid, who's also like a bartender, I suppose, fixing people drinks and like reaching over to like this little like slit opened up in the counter behind the bar where the kitchen and the front of house interface, and they're like reaching through and grabbing orders. They turn to face you. Oh, hi there, darling. What can I get you?
Hello there, beautiful. Can I just get one ale and a double of whatever they were having?
Oh my, you're a sweet talker, aren't you? Of course, 1 ale and a double of gin. Coming right up.
Thank you very much. And I think Jaron takes out like, okay, I don't know how currency works in Andake, but like a reasonable but generous tip, and like gives it over to the barmaid.
Oh, thank you so much for this tip. Usually, customers don't tip this well unless I'm doing something extra.
Well, nobody said that you weren't going to later.
Well, my shift ends at 4, and of course I'll be attending the ceremony. Perhaps I'll see you in the crowd.
The ceremony. Is there an event happening today?
Well, of course, haven't you heard? And on that, we're cutting back to Gentle, who's talking to Zalali.
First off, I did get you some spices just in case you want something to eat. But there's a wedding. Mercy's involved. And I just start like going through all the notes I was given and like all the names and stuff. Mostly because Dare's brain is juice. But yeah, maybe I good news on the wedding though. I'm prepping the pig, so I'm already in there for it. You're very quiet.
Lolly just kind of sits back very calmly, probably the calmest you've ever seen them. And they just kind of sit there for a minute. So you're already on the inside. That's good. Did you get names? Did you get faces? Did you clock anyone? Did you find out where they're staying?
I in particular got the name of the quartermaster. Dare is bad with names. Oh my god. I give you every name I was given. My brain is juice.
Good. So we have an idea of a hierarchy. Okay, and good. Okay, yes, fine. We can work with this. Thank you, Gentle.
I also I'll also tell you everything that like they had on and stuff and mentioned they were a changeling. So I don't know if that will help. Hopefully I did okay. I kind of stumbled into it, but
You did great, Gentle.
thanks. Do you need to talk about this at all?
About what?
You seem very angry, and I understand why, but do we want to make sure you're like calm before we act rash?
Do I look not calm?
You don't look serene.
Gentle, when in the time that I have known you, have I ever looked fucking serene?
Yeah, but like you're like a storm right now, unless like billowing clouds, if you understand. Like there's a lot of anger behind your eyes.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine.
Okay. Do we
Did
want to
you,
grab Sharon?
Yeah, go ahead and get your on. Yes, I would love that drink. Now.
Jaron is currently on the tail end of this half-orc's story about the wedding ceremony that is about to take place, and she sort of ends it with, yeah, and that's that. Apparently the captain rescued, oh, so heroically, her long-lost love from the clutches of these terrible bandits, these thieves among thieves, and now has her one true love back and is getting married.
Wow, these people sound awful.
Awful.
Now, if I may ask, is this an open invitation to just everyone here, or how do I get invited to this wedding?
Well, everyone who's on the Red Lagoon is invited to the wedding, of course. Captain sure wants it to be a glorious festival, a celebration of joy and love. I'm Rose, by the way.
Jaron. And Jaron puts out their hand.
Charmed. And they like hold out a hand for you to kiss.
And Geron will, very gently, and they'll kind of look back at Rose and say, I intend to attend this wedding, but I must say that I am preoccupied with work for the time being. Maybe afterwards we can meet up again?
Of course. How about during the reception after the ceremony?
That sounds perfect.
Lovely. I look forward to seeing your cute little face there. And Rose sort of tweaks your cheek a bit and turns back to receive more orders from the kitchen.
Geron will take the 2 drinks and walk back to the booth, give them to their respective people who ordered them, slide in next to Gentle and say, I think Mercy's getting married.
That Lolly slams the entire double.
Yeah, I found that out too. I'm making the pig.
The pig?
Yeah, they're having a pig as sort of like the main course, when they're only gonna have a piece of it, and then they're gonna get rid of the rest, which feels really wasteful to me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no. Why wouldn't they just eat all of it? That's not important. I think the important thing is, well, we know where Mercy is, and I found out that everyone on the Red Lagoon is invited to this wedding. So we
where
could
is
just
it
walk
happening?
in.
Where is it happening?
I mentioned where I saw the prep happening.
At the helm, presumably. And I think, Gentle, upon like thinking about it again, the arch is likely like a wedding arch that they were constructing.
I sort of stepped into a lot of the design moments.
Okay, good. So we go as guests, and I mean, Mercy couldn't possibly want this, right? Right.
She didn't
Probably
talk
not.
about a partner that she had that she wanted to get married to, so I'm
She's
inclined.
kidnapped, so there's no way that this is consensual. So we should.
Yeah, I think we stop the wedding.
Did you? Yes, Gentle.
I was gonna ask, did maybe having one of you as my sous chef means that we could have more backup in the back? So that way, a 2-pronged sort of situation.
Ron, are you any good at cooking? Because I am garbage.
I know how to kill animals. Does that count as cooking?
Yes.
Then I guess I'm your sous chef?
Okay.
Great. Okay, excellent. So we'll have 2 of you in the back, and then I will attend and tastefully object, perhaps? That's a thing that happens at weddings, right?
Yeah.
Not usually, but yeah.
I mean, there's like the opportunity to object.
Presumably.
Hold weddings. I used to do weddings all the time. No, yes, of course. Yes. Okay. But what if there's not? No, it's fine. This is a good plan, because you will be in the back, and okay. No, we've got this. Okay. Yes, this is fine. Can I have another drink? Yes, Gentle?
I also had another idea, and I say in Morosi, Sharon, are you good at all at like poisoning?
Geron will respond, poisoning. Only the poisons that were necessary to take down bigger game, but
I'm literally right here.
But if we use that for people, I feel like it'll be too much.
Well, do you remember like with the Yeti, something similar to that? Like, even if the captain's groggy, that means we at least have a better time in a fight without it necessarily having to be lethal. Mostly just to make sure. It's an idea. We don't have to commit to it, but I also didn't want to say the word poison out loud. I didn't feel good about it. A little icky. It's an idea.
Still here. Still sitting here.
Do you still have those herbs from Rose?
Yes. The sleepy time tea, yes.
I hate that you call it that. But
it is meant to make people sleep.
We could put that into the pig, and if they're the only ones eating the pig, then
Bud's gonna have some of the pig, and I want to have other people have the pig. But I can make a special garnish or something. Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
okay. Jaron turns back to Sitlali.
I think at the same time, Bud turns back to Sitlali and relays all of this in common to Sitlali.
Bud!
So, and then we're going to end with a sleepy time garnish.
And Sitlali talks to Bud the way that Mercy clearly has no idea how to deal with small young entity creatures, and it's just thank you very much, Bud. That was very helpful, and a thing you should keep doing if they do that again.
You're welcome.
Treat. Do you like Jen?
No. I slide you some jerky that I got earlier.
I'm not hung. Oh, it's for the. I see. I will feed it to Bud.
Yeah, Bud snaps it up and is content with this treat.
So you just couldn't have that conversation with me? You had to have that in front of me?
I didn't want anyone to hear the mean word.
How do you know if people around here also speak Morosi and are also eavesdropping?
I was going to have written it down the second it was done.
You could have just written it down.
I didn't think about that.
It's fine. Okay, so we can do that, but that means we have to wait longer, and then by then, that's after the ceremony, so shouldn't we do it before or during?
How binding is this wedding, really?
I mean, if there's a cleric involved, pretty binding.
This is an actual question for the GM.
Okay.
Without magic, is magic involved in wedding ceremonies normally in Andake? Because if clerics have lost their magic, are they still able to officiate?
That depends on if the specific cleric they have has lost their magic or not. But either way, it is legally binding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if we could find out where they're staying now, did the first mate Gentle say what they were doing right now?
Prenuptials.
Did they say where?
I don't remember. Did they?
So I don't think First Mate Agora mentioned where.
I don't think so.
But Bud perks up.
I could probably smell it. I can smell Mercy. I could try to smell her out.
Bud, that is such a good idea. You are so smart. Now,
Thank you.
I have something of Mercy. I will go get, and Sitlali just gets up and leaves to go get whatever item of clothing they have that is of Mercy's.
Okay. Yeah, Sitlali gets up to go back upstairs. Bud turns to Jaron and Gentle and says,
What is prenuptial?
Jaron just looks at Gentle. This is not my wheelhouse.
I've never been married, so I wouldn't know.
Oh. Okay. I guess we'll be finding out soon.
There you are, lover boy. I thought you were gonna be out and about on town. Climbing down the ladder is Buck, fully dressed now. And this cute little pirate outfit, you know what I mean? That's tastefully unbuttoned, showing off their top surgery scars, sort of ruffle their curly black and red hair, and they, without asking, slip into the booth next to you, Jaron, and at the same time, Rose, the half-orc barmaid, slides over with another drink, says, "On the house for you, hun." Oh, hi, Buck. Hi, Skank. How you doing? I was just saying hello to Duran here. Oh, you two know each other? I wouldn't say no, but hopefully later tonight we will. Aha! Buck turns to you, Duran. Later tonight with Rose, huh?
I never said that what I was doing tonight, did I? And I did mention earlier that I was at work, which, by the way, I am. And just kind of gestures towards Gentle, who is also next to me in the booth, if we recall. So we're all just on the same side of the booth.
Hi. I'm Gentle. Nice to meet you. I had a question for you, and I gesture to Rose.
Yes, darling.
I know that do you happen to have any sort of sweet alcohols that would be really good for a marinade? I'm preparing the hog for tonight's ceremony.
Of course, I'll get you some of our top shelf liqueur.
Can I go with and help sort of pick out? I'm trying to get the right flavor profile.
Gentle, don't go.
Well, why not? It seems that you are able to have your pick of the litter here, Duran. Why can't others?
Duran just looks at Gentle and just kind of like questioningly, like, is that what you would like?
I would like to go find like a nice liqueur. So yes, and I could use help. I don't understand it as super well, so I wanted an expert's eye.
Of course, I'd be more than happy. And Rose sort of leans in, and like I think her chest is like in front of your face. Duran, she's like leaning in to take this little cutie pie back to the liquor cabinet and show them my nice good stock.
Be nice to Gentle while you're gone.
Oh, why does it matter what I do, Duran? Clearly you're the player here. If I wanted to bang out this cutie's brains behind the liquor cabinet, I will. Come along now.
Okay.
And I think Duran just like slides out to let Gentle go, like slightly concerned because like does Gentle know what they're getting themselves into? But we're gonna trust them. We're gonna trust that they know.
Bud happily follows Gentle, just trotting along.
Bud.
Yes.
Do you mind staying with Duran for security?
Yes.
And I think you've
all the help
probably
he can get.
Got it. I think you've probably taught Bud to like not speak in front of other people. I'm assuming like I wouldn't do you that dirty. So I think like Bud disguises it with like an affirmative arf, right? When you address him in front of other people and nods and turns back. And Rose, as she's leading you behind the bar, says, "Oh, that is a very well-trained dog."
He's my pride and joy. I've been taking care of him since the calamity. He's gotten really, really big and strong. I'm very proud of him.
Have you ever thought about putting him on a leash?
I don't think he needs one.
I have several back here.
Well,
Let me show you. And Rose is gonna guide you behind the bar and into the cellar. And as as Gentle goes down into the basement, we're gonna pan back to Buck and Duran. And Buck just has like they're leaning on like a single hand and they're looking at you with those bright amber eyes. So, Rose, huh?
What, are you jealous?
No. I mean, it was just a fling, I guess. We never really did establish anything about anything, but it's kind of fast, don't you think, even for a one-night stand? Just clearly all that this is.
Did you think that this was something else?
Buck leans back a little bit, and an expression of hurt flashes across their face for like half a second. Evidently, I was mistaken.
I think Duran like leans forward and takes Buck's hand in theirs, like very softly and very gently, and just kind of like rubs their thumb on their hand. That doesn't mean that last night and this morning weren't important in some way.
Oh, Duran. And Buck picks up the double, I think that Rose had topped off for Sitlali while Sitlali was gone. Picks it up, considers it, and then throws it in your face. Like, splashes you completely with the gin, slams the glass back down, and storms out of the tavern.
You know what? He deserved that. That's fair. I think Duran is just kind of like, okay, and like wiping off as much as they can of the rest of the drink off of themselves, and just kind of like drying themselves, trying to like look around in embarrassment, trying to see if anybody noticed that this happened.
Yeah, like everyone.
Oh dear Lord!
You see like storming out, and you see like the entire tavern is like quieted down a little bit, and they're all like staring at you, and a couple of like rough around the edges pirates start snickering and chuckling at each other before like the cadence of like conversation returns to normal and they turn back to their own drinks.
I think Duran just tries to like come back and like lean back, trying to look very unperturbed as best as they can by this whole thing, and starts just like fiddling with the drinks in front of them, waiting for Sitlali to come back.
At which point, I think Sitlali returns.
Well, I seem to have missed something. Trouble in paradise?
I decided to take a dip, let's say.
In my drink?
Sure. Did you bring the thing? Something from Mercy's?
Yes, but I assumed we, would go together. Where's Gentle?
Gentle is off looking for some sweet alcohol for the marinade. Off with Rose, and I genuinely don't think they know what they're getting themselves into.
Oh.
Yeah.
Should we rescue them, or?
Gentle's capable. I feel like they can handle it. They can handle it.
We cut to Gentle. We cut to Gentle in the liquor basement cabinet, where Rose has like a bottle of like, I think like cherry wine, and is like, this would make for a fantastic glaze on whatever marinade you're trying to make. And this, and she like reaches into like the same cabinet and pulls out like a muzzle and like waves it. Could look really cute on your face. Why don't you swap out one mask for another, honey? This silence is so loud.
Gentle's brain is broken. Well, see, this is mostly like mostly a thing for like personal preference. I mean, like most people don't see me without the mask, and I don't. It's a big deal. It's a very big commitment.
Oh, I understand. Well, if you're into not showing your face, I can dig that. I've got a variety of blindfolds back here as well. Oh, and this liqueur. And I think she's like alternating between showing you good alcohol and like various kinky sex things that she's like pulling down from like the same cabinet.
So I mean, are you really sure a cherry wine is going to really pair well with like a sweet honey marinade? Like, I think the hint of cherry might give it just a little bit of a pop. And then I mean, do you know the captain better than me? I heard she's really big on executions and really likes sweet things. Do you think a cherry will make it sweet enough?
Oh, she does like cherry. I've known Captain Shu for over 4 years now. Why, ever since she took over the Red Lagoon from the previous captain. And you're right about beheading. She beheaded him. With his own scimitar, no less. Yes, she likes sweet things. She likes being the center of attention. Ugh, but she's so beautiful when she does it. I haven't yet gotten the chance to know her more intimately, and I suppose the opportunity for that now has passed.
Fair. First, my condolences, of course.
She is, and don't let this, obviously this is just between us and the wine and my writing crop. Don't tell anyone I said this, but she's a little, volatile. So I'd be careful around her. I'd stick with the safe choice. And she's like holding out the cherry wine to you.
Suppose I can do that then. And then may I just get a sample of, and I like reach, just like, because Gentle is like 6'2", that's canon. Just like reaches over and like to one right by her.
As you reach over, she like plasters herself against the shelf like you're doing like the wall thing. You know what I mean? What's it called? The thing.
Yeah,
and she like,
we know.
She's like presses herself flush against the wall and goes, "Oh, right here, right now? Okay." She kicks off her shoes.
Yeah, why not?
Wait, what? Did I hear you right?
This will buy time for Geron. I don't know how bad that went. This was mostly to get Geron separated so they could like figure some stuff out. If this buys time, this buys time.
So tell me how you move in to seduce the barmaid, Gentle.
Gentle knows this about themselves. I do really, really appreciate how patient you've been with me. I'm not well versed in this a lot, but I think that's earned you at least a modicum of trust to do this, and of course removes the mask. Just because it's a good move, it's a good play.
It is. As you remove the mask, like Rose, her like big long lashes like flutter and she softens against the shelf. Oh my, you are very pretty.
Thank you. I've gotten that a lot lately. I don't really know how to handle that. I mean,
shut up and kiss me.
And they do.
Oh my god. Okay, we cut back up to the ground floor of the Siren Song. Back to Geron and Sitlolly.
So I figure we wait for Gentle, and then we'll have Bud sniff, get Mercy's scent, and then we'll track, and we'll find her. Yeah?
Gentle.
Not yet, Bud.
Gentle's busy. We find Mercy.
I mean, we're gonna look for Mercy later during the wedding.
Yeah. Well, closer to the what time is it now, GM?
Oh my god, so much time has passed. It's time has flitted. It is almost evening. The light, I think as you're like, what time is it? You look outside like the porthole and like the light immediately fades down as the GM moves the clock forward. And I think at this point it's like evening, right? Like torches are starting to get lit. Like the sky has turned from this like lightless day to an even more lightless evening. Gray darkness starting to blanket the entire atmosphere over the Red Lagoon. And you start to hear music. You smell like special meats and vegetables being roasted on outside grills drifting in through the open portholes of this tavern. It's almost go time.
Okay. Fuck. We should probably find Gentle fast then, and well, no, Gentle has the pig. Do you? And Sitlolly sits back and thinks for a minute. Geron, you're used to hunting things.
Yeah, pretty good at it too.
You could go with Bud.
I could.
And I could watch things from the front.
Yeah, as a guest.
As a guest. who also has a knife in their boot. Yes, but who doesn't?
Here, yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So you you're kind of cute when you're soaked.
I think Duran is not expecting this at all and is just kind of taken aback. I mean, I'm planning on changing out of this, obviously, before I go to the wedding. I'm not going to show up wet.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. You will track. Yes, Gentle will be on the back, and you will track down Mercy. We should. Okay. Did Mercy fall wearing? No, they probably took Mercy's equipment, so we'll have to find Mercy's equipment. Duran, I am so stressed.
I think we all have been quite stressed throughout this whole thing. So, Lolly, have you even slept since we got here? Or
technically, but I mean, nightmares are a thing, you know?
Yeah, they are.
You having them too?
Do you want to take a nap before the wedding? It might help you rejuvenate. I don't know. Rest up a little.
I don't know if we have time. Do you mean like us, or like just me, or like what do you?
Oh, I meant like you take it. Sit, Lolly, what are you suggesting here?
What are you suggesting here?
I need to change my clothes.
I guess I could watch you do that.
What's happening?
But grown-ups are talking.
Okay.
We do need to do something about Bud, though.
We could put Bud in Gentle's room, right?
For like half an hour? Half an hour.
Do we need half an hour?
Probably not.
Okay. Bud, I think the two of you guide Bud, right? Toward Gentle's room upstairs. Bud is just going,
Oh, are we just waiting until the wedding? Okay, I'll sit here and gnaw on some cookie.
and Bud like very happily trots into Gentle's room. The door closes behind him, and it's just the two of you in very close quarters in this narrow hallway upstairs.
So who do you want me to be this time?
Sit, Lolly, you can't ask me that question. It didn't go well the last time.
I mean, has the answer changed, or?
Let me ask you a better question. And I think Duran like moves closer to Sitlali so that Sitlali's like up against the wall.
Sitlali is currently 5'2".
Duran is much taller than you. They are, double checking here, 5'10". Who do you want to be?
Half an hour and then we get Mercy back.
And I think we go into Duran's room and fade to black.
I guess we time skip half an hour. At this point in the wine cellar, I think Gentle and the barmaid are also wrapping up at this point, let's say. And I think we find the barmaid like buttoning up her blouse and like pulling the strings on her corset tight again, as she starts to like head toward the ladder, leading up to the tavern area. And she's like giving you a lot of free liquor and wine for your glaze as thanks, right? Well, that was quite a lot of fun. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Gentle.
Oh, that's such a cute name, and Let me say a little bit of a misnomer, given the experience we just had, though you are such a gentle person. One word, like a gentleman, but not gendered.
Thank you. And I'm gonna be sure to absolutely sing your praises when it comes to the wines that were used for the glaze. But I do think I am running a little bit late.
Yes. The pig needs to be put inside the marinade now. I'm sure they're done dressing it and skinning it by now. Oh, I don't see your friends anywhere. Maybe they went to grab seats for the ceremony?
Yeah, let me just go get my things real quick. And thank you so much. I give her like a kiss on the cheek. That feels like a right thing to do. And monk speed, so I'm moving now. I'm schmoving. I'm gone.
Are you going upstairs or outside?
Upstairs, checking my room to go get any of my things.
What is your passive perception?
Oh no. Unfortunately. It's a 17.
You, Jiran and Sitlali, what does Gentle hear?
You really want to ask that question?
Well, you know what? Maybe instead of being graphic, you hear all you need to hear coming from Jiran's room.
I just get Bud and my things, and I just sort of yell, like, hit the door twice and yell, I'm gonna go do the marinade. I have Bud with me. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're muted.
Wait, we need Bud. 2 seconds. Just give me 2 seconds.
Bud, can you hang outside of the door for 2 seconds, please?
I don't want to be here, but I will continue to stay.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. You can hang out in my room. Go. Do you know how to close the door? Just nudge it closed.
Your room is right next to Duran's room.
I know.
I prefer the hallway at this point.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll wait out here.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
I love you so much, Bud.
I love you too.
And I just go run off to go prep the pig.
Okay, you flee the scene of the crime.
I did nothing wrong.
Sitlali and Jiran, when you finally make yourselves decent and open up the door, Bud is sort of curled up, looks up, ears perk, tail goes up as the two of you exit.
Oh, there you are. Are you ready to do work and find mercy?
I think Jiran crouches down, ruffles Bud's fur on his head, and says, "Yeah, boy, let's go. And don't ever talk about this to anyone, okay?"
I will not. I'm going to try to forget I heard or smelled anything at all. Okay, let's go.
Those are prenuptials, and I hand Jiran the I don't know, what is it, like a shirt or something of Mercy's.
Jiran will hand it over for Bud to sniff.
Oh boy. Okay, here I go. Follow me.
And Bud is going to make a tracking check with advantage because he's using his little wolf nose. Oh my god, okay, he does really well. So he leads you back down the tavern and starts trotting outside. At this point, the sunless sky has turned basically completely black. The entire wreck is illuminated by these beautiful torches, right, that shed bright light and dim light further beyond that. You see the centerpiece of this entire event, the helm. It's been converted into a beautiful, flower and fruit draped stage with this painted archway, right, of garlands of golden leaves wrought up the side, meeting at the top in this heart-shaped, construction of flowers. Both of you see the busts of presumably Captain Sure and Mercy, made from trimmed hedges and pineapples and coconuts put together, right? On either side of the stage. There's that long banquet hall that's currently, the long banquet table upon the stage that's currently empty seems to be reserved for guests of honor. And the arch has been moved in front of the banquet table, in preparation for the ceremony. Various circular tables have been set up in front of the helm, with lots of chairs all around. It's very much like a wedding, right? Like a wedding venue. And there's vendors hawking goods, like there's pirates milling all about in their pirate finest, which is basically slightly less rugged leather, and like slightly more uncombed hair, right? But there's like a sense of like excitement, like camaraderie, people, like there's like a group of pirates already like doing some mud wrestling, like in the middle of like the event space. It's a really like raucous, drunken, fun event, right? Is like filling up the air. So amidst all of this, we're gonna go to Gentle. Gentle, I think you've located like the chef's quarters, right? Or where they're dressing and prepping the pig. And you like pull up with your spices and your wines and your various liqueurs and your ingredients to a kind of sheltered space off to the side of the stage, where you see the pig. It has been dressed, it's prepped, all it needs is the glaze, the final marinade on top. And you see like the same group of like, you know, grungy looking pirates like bustling all around and putting finishing touches on it. And the same gnome, really fucked up looking gnome from earlier, turns to you and says,
"Ah, there you are. You're about time. You got the good stuff."
Oh, absolutely. And I just like have pretty much all of the ingredients I've collected over the course of the day. So, I have all of this. I also got a sweet cherry wine. It should all work. I put a lot of work into getting these things.
Oh, cherry. Good touch. Captain Sure really likes cherries. All right, put it on. Careful with the snout and the apple inside the mouth.
Oh, of course. Do I have to roll anything for?
yes, perhaps the most important role of the evening. I need you to make a cooking check. I think this is wisdom nature. So if you have proficiency in nature, add it and make a straight up wisdom roll.
Okay. Oh, nature's. It's an intelligent one. Doesn't matter. Not 20, baby. I finally got mine for the night.
Oh my god! Y'all are rolling like fire tonight.
The dice give it.
The dice giveth. And I mean, Jiran, Gentle, and Silali, I'll take it. So Gentle, why don't you tell me how you dress up the pig?
I think just like in terms of like the camera lighting gets very light and soft as Gentle is just sort of in like the hyperfixate zone of cooking. Just sort of adding the finishing touches, needlessly going back like several times to make sure it's been applied properly, evenly. Even like down to when it comes to like the act of plating, making just a little bit of extra sauce with like the names like right in front for like prep and doing a lot of that stuff too.
Oh my god, you dress this hog, you literally put lipstick on this pig, and it looks so freaking good. It's like mouth-watering, right? Maybe you're salivating a bit. You've truly outdone yourself, Gentle. You have risen to the occasion and exceeded all expectations, and these rugged pirates are like crying as you're like putting the finishing garnish on, and like this old fucked up gnome is like,
That's the most goddamn beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm 200 years old.
I wrote down the recipe. Or I can write down the recipe if you'd like.
No. Only you deserve to make something this beautiful. You take that recipe and you burn it.
It'll be right up here.
Good. Burn that too, then. All right, boys. Let's put this up on the banquet table. Captain's gonna want to cut into it first thing, right after the vows.
And like they start like putting it up onto the table, which has been covered by like a tablecloth at this point. It's the equivalent of like the wedding cake. Know what I mean? Okay. And now we're gonna cut to Jiran and Sitlali. The two of you follow Bud's little winding footsteps, little doggy hip sway and little tail off akimbo and a flutter as he leads the two of you through the crowd, right, really quickly. Is like occasionally stops to smell Mercy's shirt again, nods, and then like continues to run. So I think Bud eventually leads both of you toward a shipwreck, kind of off to the side of the stage that you see two really burly looking like pirates guarding it. And Bud stops maybe a couple like dozen feet away and says,
She's in there. There's other smells too. There's other people with her. And I can smell those guards. They've been drinking, I think.
Okay, Sitlali, it's your call. How do you want to do this?
Well, are either of them your type?
So is there not another way that we can do this?
I mean, you don't actually have to go through with it, you just have to get them distracted.
I suppose then it doesn't matter if they're my type or not, does it?
I just thought to be polite.
Okay. And we look to see who the guards are. Who are they?
Okay, here we go. One of them is a very muscular elf, right? With this sort of like short, like undercut. She's got like these like burly arms, right? With like scars running down her like bicep and like all the way up to her wrist. And she has a scimitar strapped to one hip. She's sort of like leaning against like the porch of this, the deconstructed porch of this upside down boathouse, and is like sort of shooting the shit with her friend, who is this kind of wiry but also like lithe, I think, Goliath man. He's tall and he's sort of like throwing a dagger between each hand and like talking with his friend, and he's got this like long black hair raked back and up, and that goes down in like a single braid all the way down to like his hip. They're both talking to each other.
Okay. We're in Uhanahi, correct?
Uhanahi territory. We're in the this is technically like international waters.
Okay. In that case, okay, I think Jaron is going to first check, make sure everything looks good, sort of press out their clothes. It's gonna be like, okay. I'm gonna walk up to the two of them and say, hello. I heard that there was a wedding happening today. I seem to have gotten lost. Would either of you know where I should be going?
Well, I guess what they say about pretty boys is true, eh, Yin? Says the elf. Prettier you are, dumber they get. But that's how I like my men. The elf says, sort of leaning in a bit. You can smell the alcohol coming off her breath. The stage is right there. Literally, like, 3 feet to your right.
I think Jaron laughs, looks over at the stage, and says, oh, God, I wasn't even thinking. I guess I was just so distracted seeing the both of you here.
I need you to make a charisma seduction check. I guess that's performance.
I hate myself.
I feel like our episodes... God. What is it?
It's a nat 1. I'm glad it went as bad as it felt, because that did not feel good.
So you don't have any inspiration, and your collective inspiration is off. So I think
I
that's
give them one of mine.
You cannot. This is how I'm gonna resolve this nat 1.
Yike.
These two guards exchange a look. They look down at you. They nod. And the tall one, the Goliath with the braid, Yin, says, can I say this on stream? Like, what? Will this violate the community? Will this violate terms of service? I don't care, I'm gonna say it. I don't think, you know what? I'm gonna say it, and hopefully, we don't have any strikes yet, so hopefully if it happens, it happens. The tall Goliath says, we can take the front if I'll take the back.
Jaron, so having heard that this person likes pretty and dumb people, Jaron is going to purposely play into that. Jaron is a very intelligent person. They're not behaving intelligently, but they're actually quite intelligent. And so they're going to lean into that and just kind of like flutter their eyes a bit. They have like really long white hair, right? So they're just going to kind of maybe like run their hand through their hair a little bit and just flutter their eyes at both of them and just say, well, I don't suppose that we could do that here though, could we?
There's a nice copse of bushes that we're well aware of. Come on, Yin, let's take this cute little Dembo out back.
I guess Jaron follows.
This has bought Sitlali so much time, okay? So Sitlali, while all of this is happening, what are you
I've sacrificed myself for you. I hope you know that.
I have an important question that I also asked in the chat. How
Yes.
was the pig prep? Was it spit roasted? I just needed to know.
I was like, I can't say that. Yes, the pig was spit roasted.
Delightful.
Yes, it was. Front and back, my friend, front and back. Sitlali, what have you been up to?
Well, I was gonna look for another entrance, but if the front door's open now, I'll just...
Well, those...
Well, I'll have to deal with Bud. Oh, God. I get down... Well, I guess I don't have to get that far down. I turn to Bud, and I just go, you did a great job. Good, Bud.
But Bud interrupts you. He lifts a paw and puts it on your mouth and says,
Please stop talking. Just go in there, get Mercy, and let's get on with our lives. We do not have to address what just happened today at all. This can just be a chapter in our past. Do I make myself clear, Sitwawi?
Connie, I'm crying. Oh my god.
You know what, Bud? You're right. I'm going to the door. I can't breathe. I go to the door. I go to the door.
You go to the door, okay? Breathe through it, breathe through it, Quinn. Okay.
The front door.
You go through the front door. You walk in. It's a darkened space. This used to be quite a large boathouse, right? Simply flipped upside down. There's a couple of torches lit. There doesn't seem to be anyone on the ground floor, but there's a set of ladders leading up onto the second floor, similar to the inn.
Do I hear anything with my... How high is my perception now? 23 passive?
Yes. Yes, you do. You do. You... Oh my god. Okay. You hear two voices. The first voice is Mercy's, and you recognize it. And she's saying, I thought, we weren't supposed to see each other before the ceremony. What's this all about, Yang? The second voice you don't recognize. And it's kind of breathy, right? And it just sort of goes, well, I just couldn't keep my hands off of you, Mercy. And you hear like fabric rustling, and you hear Mercy respond, right, of course. You never could. But darling, we shouldn't make the guests late. Don't you want this to be a proper wedding? With proper vows? Not like last time? Such a shotgun affair. Yes, you're right, darling. You're right, my beloved. I just got a little bit ahead of myself. I'll go downstairs then, and I'll see you in just a few. Sitlali, roll insight.
Thank you. I was going to ask you anyway. What the fuck is my insight? 28.
Okay. With a 28, there's something really off about Mercy's voice. Okay? Like, the tone of voice is almost kind of flat, like unaffected, though the words she's saying are really nice. It's almost like a little robotic. It's like really, there's something off about it. Like really, your gut is just pinging in all the wrong directions, and not just because you want it to be off, it actually is. However, the other voice is really genuine and almost, it's very self-satisfied, like the cat that ate the canary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear footsteps creak above you and head toward the ladder directly in front of you.
Can I, with a 28 and also with my background with magic, am I able to recognize if that is a charmed, if that is probably a charm effect or not?
You can roll Arcana with advantage given your high roll and insight.
Okay. Please be higher than that. Thank you. 21.
It's very likely.
Okay.
You've never really heard Mercy talk like that before, and the only people you've heard talk like that are people under the influence of magic, or who are being compelled to do something against their will otherwise.
Okay. And I hear footsteps. Is there anywhere, do I see anywhere, like, a quick hiding spot?
You see a stuffed owlbear statue right next to you.
Do I think I can fit behind it?
Definitely. You're only 5'2" at this point.
I go for it. As stealthily as I can.
Roll stealth.
Oh my god, okay. 25.
Okay. You slide silently behind the silhouette of this massive owlbear, just as you hear, like, the ladder creak and oh, what a day. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Everything I've ever wanted coming to me on a silver platter. Other things are coming, of course, too. And you smell her before you see her. Smells sort of like perfumed roses, floral, something very sweet indeed, almost like a dessert. And with your high stealth roll, you can even peek behind the owlbear statue if you want to without risk of being seen. And you see a tall, imposing, Air Ganassi woman in this sort of like rugged leather armor and that same long grayish hair that you saw through your telescope all those weeks back, flowing and billowing sort of like past her shoulders, even though there's no breeze in here, sort of just moves of its own accord like storm clouds. And you see a tsian, or a double-edged straight sword, strapped to her waist, tucked inside a scabbard made of embossed wood. Most notably, you see a scar that sort of cleaves her throat down to her clavicle. A really big scar, almost like a greatsword left it. And she's walking right past your hiding spot, like, ha ha ha, what a lovely, lovely day. Ooh. You're finally mine, Mercy. Finally. And I'm never going to let you go. And as she says this, paused in the middle of the room, she like lifts up her left hand and you see a glowing like engagement ring on her ring finger as she examines it. And with your high arcana roll, you know that it's almost definitely magical. You can feel the weave like pulling you toward it. And then she exits.
Would you say I got a good enough look at her to turn into her?
Whoa! Oh my god, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, are you gonna turn into her?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because I don't have magic, but I am a fucking changeling, so I will still turn into her.
Okay.
I can't change the clothes, whatever. And I'm going to go up the ladder. Well, I'm gonna lock the door. I'm gonna, if the door has a lock, I will lock it.
Okay.
And even if it does, I'm gonna try to push the owlbear plush also against the door. I'm trying to bar the door.
Okay. Make an athletics check because it's really heavy.
I love my 9 strength.
You do have 2 inspiration.
I do, you're right. That's a nat 1. We're gonna be burning inspiration, folks! That's a natural 20.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
So 19.
empowered by your own homosexuality, you push this owlbear statue in front of the door. Like, it's like several 100 pounds heavy, but that doesn't matter at this point. You shove it.
Yeah, I do that, and then I climb the ladder.
Sitlali, as you ascend the ladder, like your white hair, right, having rippled downward, turning gray and stormy, right, like your changeling features fading to turn into this sort of like lighter skin of an air genasi. You mount the ladder, and we're gonna cut to someone else who's being mounted. Jaron, you're on the butt end of your scene, right? The two, the guards, I think you're done, right? Whatever the three of you are up to, you're done, I'm assuming. If you let it get that far, it's completely up to you, Jaron, what happens. The bushes shake and you exit it, I think, just in time to see someone leave the ship that the guards were supposed to be guarding. And both of, the elf woman goes, ah, shit, and she's like zipping up her fly. Captain Sure, so sorry, we were a little distracted. No one came in, no one came out. It's just you, my lady. And Jaron, you see the woman that I just described to Sitlali, about 6 feet tall, with this long hair rippling down her back. And as this elf woman tries to explain why she wasn't at the door, you sort of see like her hair flash as what appears to be a streak of lightning goosh, bolts through it as she turns upon her. Now listen up here. This is my wedding night. It has to go perfectly. Not a single blade of grass, not a single breath of air, not a single guard out of place do I make myself clear, Dara. Yes, yes, my lady. Good. Go back to guarding. Yes, ma'am. Come on, Ian. And the Goliath man, who had sort of like sheepishly shrunk back, nods and moves forward.
Hearing that this is the person getting married, I think Jaron is just going to step up to her and say, if I may, I don't think we've been acquainted. And like he's gonna bow like very ceremoniously to this person. Captain Sure, I take it? Jaron Kother. It's nice to meet you. And like he's gonna hold out a hand.
Jaron. You're a new face around here, aren't you? It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm so sorry you had to witness my guard's incompetence on this very, very blessed night. She takes your hand and kisses it, lets you go, looks down at you, says, I hope you forgive me. I have places to be. This is, after all, the biggest night of my life.
Of course. Question for you, Connie the GM.
Go for it.
Do I also see that the ring on her finger, and do I also see that it's glowing and magical in some way?
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay.
And if it goes through, make an Arcana check.
Okay. Please, please, please. I got another nat 1, so I don't see anything.
They giveth and they taketh. No, I don't think you notice. More than that, I think you're just struck by how tall, right, and imposing. And frankly, she's very beautiful too, right? Like beautiful this woman is, as she's like looking down at you, and like you smell her perfume, and maybe that overwhelms your senses a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, in that case, I will scrap my plan from earlier, and I think I will just let her leave, but like taking in everything that she did. And Jaron is going to try and slip inside. I assume the guards have like retaken their post, but I don't know if there's like a moment before they fully set up that Jaron can just kind of like slip in.
Just make a stealth check for me. You're a rogue. This should be easy.
I am a rogue. This should be fine. As long as I don't nat 1 again. Yeah, 29.
Nice. Yeah. like a freaking shadow as she turns to leave, like her hair billowing in her wake. You slip into the crack. Wait, there's an owl. There's an owlbear statue.
I mean, I can slip into the building. I don't know if I can get
Okay.
into your room.
Okay, maybe through a window then, if not like the front
Okay.
door. You slip in through a window, because I don't know if you get in through the front. You, like a shadow, dart in through like a porthole and shimmy your way in. Before we resolve that, let's go back to Gentle. Gentle, you've made the most goddamned, eight's blessed, delicious marinade on this hog. And yeah, I think that the gnomes and the pirates just leave you be after like singing your praises, and like they're like continuing to tell all the other pirates around about like, this is the amazing chef that like made this amazing hog. Like, you're definitely gonna get honored by the captain, like during the ceremony or afterward, right, during the reception. What have you been up to?
Honestly, just probably helping finish up any other meal stuff. Actually, like if the wedding party, like the extended guests and stuff, I'm probably helping make that food better, because I know they're probably not putting nearly as much care or effort in that one. If I can get away with it.
Yeah, I think we keep your your nat 20 from earlier, addressing the pig, as you like go from like plate to plate, buffet area to buffet area, just like dressing up the food, adding like finishing touches, making sure that it's getting seasoned correctly and like prepped in the right way, and just floating around, and you're starting to make a name for yourself amongst these pirates. I think by like the fifth batch of plantains that you're helping to like re-sear, like there's like a small crowd following you around as they're like looking at what you're doing.
I sort of just like give like advice and stuff as I go. And what is the name of the inn we've been staying at? Just because
Siren Song.
Siren Song. I will have to say, this isn't all me. Chef is only as good as their ingredients, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without first off the natural just resources here, but also Siren Song. I managed to get the cherry wine from there, and the lovely bartender Rose was delightful. So I want to make sure that I'm not taking all the credit, because it couldn't all be done by me.
Ooh, yeah, like the pirates all murmur among themselves. Like, oh yeah, Rose, yeah, she's always good in the sack and good with some beer, eh? They're like talking to each other and like nodding along, right? As you sing Rose's praises as well. At this point, you feel some fur graze your calf and your thigh, as Bud has rejoined you with not a single Jiran Recitlali in tow. Sits down in front of you and looks at you intently, because there's people around. He goes, arf, arf. Arf, arf, arf.
I'm going to take just a minute to get a little bit of air, and also make sure my companion's all good here.
Is that dog saying arf instead of just arfing?
Arf, arf, arf.
I like to, communicate with him like, he has the ability to speak. It sort of helps build our sense of trust.
Make a deception check with advantage, because these people love you so much.
I've had to lie so much lately. You're all bad influences on me. Namely Sitlali. 14.
Okay, that's enough. They go,
you're not just a fantastic chef, you're an incredible animal tamer as well. All right, why don't you go off? Thank you so much for helping us dress up our dishes. We really appreciate it.
Yes, of course. And if you ever have any other questions, feel free to ask.
Absolutely. Come on, boys. Let's smell this food, because the captain hasn't gotten married yet, so she'd chop off our heads, or at least our hands, for eating it before she gets here.
And all the pirates just like lean over the plates of food and just start smelling it.
Arf, 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 arf. Gentle.
Yeah, what's going on, bud? Yeah, we go outside, of course, to get some air.
You might want to sit down for this.
Mm-hmm. I crouch.
And Bud, who looks like he's aged 20 years, which is 50 years in dog years, tells you everything that's happened.
So the drink got thrown in Jiran's face? I didn't have to do that?
That's the part you're fixating on?
There's a lot that happened. I'm going bit by bit. It takes me a second to catch up. I mean, I even bought an extra seasoning for Anyway, okay. So, I mean, I'm pretty much just waiting until everyone else is ready. We're in position, but
Okay, then let's just sit here and try to keep an eye out for any fights that might break out. Oh, look! It's the captain lady.
And you see Captain Shur striding out of the darkness as she, like, enters the light of the torches. All the pirates stop sniffing the food. They stop, like, wrestling each other in the mud. They stop, like, bantering with each other over drinks. They all stop and they turn and they all cheer. They're, like, throwing up their hats, like, tossing their swords up into the air, like, holding them in their fists as, like, the captain walks up onto the stage. And they're all cheering. And you see a band that has set up, like, on the helm begin to play, like a wedding, like a jaunty Uhan, like, wedding song, right? As, like, the captain's up there, she's, like, waving and smiling down at her, like, citizens, basically. She, like, kind of rules this island in the middle of nowhere. And on that, we're gonna cut to the inside of this inverted boathouse. Jiran on the first floor, but first, Sitlali, you've ascended the ladder. And Mercy is standing in the middle of a bedroom. And she is dressed up. She's, like, wearing this, like, beautiful tunic with this, like leather, like, armor over it, with this, like, decorative pauldron over one shoulder. She's got these, like, trousers buttoned up, like, to her belly, and, like, these, like, beautiful, like, black boots with this, like, these, like, golden adornments on them. Her greatsword is nowhere to be seen. And her eye patch has been changed out to, like, a gilded eye patch, right? And she's just sort of standing there, staring off into space. And you see on her left hand, on the ring finger, the exact same make of the wedding band glow. You ascend the steps, and she turns and looks at you and says, her facial expression not changing at all, really. Ah, there you are, Yang. I thought I was meeting you back downstairs on the stage for the ceremony.
Well, darling, you know I can't take my eyes off of you for more than a couple of seconds without missing you, huh? Trying doing my best to impersonate, bitch face McFuck who is going to die tonight, but, you know, priorities. And I'll take a step towards Mercy.
I can't take my eyes off of you either, Yang. You're beautiful. You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
I'm gonna go in for a kiss, but the kiss is to distract me trying to get that ring off her finger.
Okay. As you start to go in for a kiss, I think we're gonna cut down to Jiran, like, on the first floor. Jiran, you've arrived. A shadow in the dark. What do you do?
I am going to, first of all, take stock of just my surroundings and I'm trying to find, basically, I'm looking for one of two clues that might help me figure out where this bedroom is. One, a door that looks particularly ornate or particularly, like, maybe decorated, like a honeymoon suite, perhaps, on the outside. Or two, listening for voices, particularly Mercy's voice.
You hear the voices. Mercy's at a voice you don't recognize. Actually, I think it sounds like Sitlali affecting an accent or, like, affecting someone else's voice upstairs.
Okay, I will very quietly, as I can. Are there people inside or no?
No, it's just you downstairs. And owlbear statue in front of the door.
Okay, yeah, just gonna maybe, like, no, like, okay, don't know why that's there. Seems like an odd choice to be making. I think Jiran is just going to assume maybe that's to keep Mercy in, to prevent her from leaving, but, like, who knows? And he's going to go up the stairs towards Sitlali's voice.
As you start to climb the stairs, that's when Sitlali's starting to move in for a kiss. Mercy's sort of glazed eye looks down at you, and before your lips can connect, there's a bang, 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 bang coming from the door. And Mercy sort of startles at that and, like, pulls back, and all three of you with Jiran, like, on the ladder, like, hear, like, the doorknob rattle. Jiran, you can see they're trying to push the door open, but it's, like, banging against the owlbear statue. And the familiar voice of the butch elven woman says, hey, you! Fiancé, soon-to-be wife! Mercy Shear! It's time. You gotta get down there, and I don't want to get beheaded, you see. I gotta get you onto that stage in a timely fashion.
I'm going to respond in Mercy's voice.
Can you do that?
I have an ability that is called, oh my god, what is it called? Master of Intrigue, where I can unerringly mimic speech patterns and the accent of a creature that I have heard speak for at least a minute. And I've definitely heard Mercy speak a lot, so I'm going to try and respond back as Mercy.
Okay, what do you say?
I think because I haven't heard Mercy speak in that, like, charmed way, I unfortunately cannot mimic that. So I will be speaking just in Mercy's regular voice. But I'm going to respond and say, I'm just putting the finishing touches on my nuptial attire. I'll be out there in just 5 minutes.
At the exact same time, the real Mercy upstairs also responds. She calls out, your voice is overlapping, I'll be down there immediately, thank you. And there's a pause at the door. And Jiran, you hear the elf woman go, what the fuck? Hey, you gotta get out of here now, alright? Listen, my head is literally on the chopping block. I already messed up once on the captain's big wedding night. I cannot mess up again.
I go for the ring.
Are you trying to, like, pull it off?
Yes.
Okay. Make a dexterity contest, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, that'll go well.
Or it's a grapple check, I suppose. So you roll actually dexterity. I said dexterity, so dexterity.
And I've had a thought.
Yes.
Not Jiran. But can I have the raven feather with me.
You do.
I think I'm not going to go for the ring. I am going to grab onto that and pray to the fucking Raven Queen and go in and try to cast Lesser Restoration on Mercy. I'm going to try to grab her face, and I am going to try with everything in my body to cast this, even though I do not know that it will work. I am going to have faith in her and faith in me because I got this far.
Okay. I think this is what happens. Raven feather in hand, you move in toward Mercy's face and you cup it on either side, and you try your best to summon magic which you have not felt rushing through your body for weeks, for months up until this point. But looking up into your beloved's eye and seeing this like slack-jawed expression on her face, this monotonous tone of voice, this isn't right. You have to help her, you have to save Mercy. And you do it. The magic bubbles up inside you. The raven feather glows, right? You feel the weave sort of strum within your soul. And Mercy, like a shiver, ripples down from the point of contact of your hand, ripples down her body, right? And like as it goes down her face, she blinks, and like the real Mercy comes back for like a split second. And the first and last words she says to you are, Silalia, what are you? And then the ripple effect reaches the ring on her left hand. And the ring sparks with this like thunderous force, or this like bright yellow electricity, and Mercy staggers backward, lets out this groan of pain as the ripple is sucked back in. And you know intimately that lesser restoration is not enough to lift this. But for just a split second, you did it. And in that moment, because you were so attuned to the weave, you were so intent on love as the driving force of your magic, not pretending to be someone else, not showing off for a crowd, not trying to prove your worth to people who don't even matter. It was love. You were able to cast that spell, but it ripples back down. And Mercy staggers. Her expression goes slack again, and she says, I'll see you on the stage, my love. I'll see you soon. And she moves to walk past you.
No, absolutely not. And I go for the ring.
Okay. In this case, why don't you make a straight grapple check? I think so. You're gonna have to do athletics, I think, against her. And she gets to choose
I'm really
athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, this is great. This is a great time for me. Nat 20.
Okay. Nat 20. What's the total?
19.
19? Oh no!
But
Okay.
it's a crit, Connie. Love. I'm gay.
Listen.
Gay, homosexual, gay.
Listen. You grab onto her finger and you try to yank. And the ring, you've had purchase on the metal, the ring just will not come off. So you know that lesser restoration here is not going to work. Just brute forcing it off is not going to work. There has to be some other way to break this spell, right? You've tried 2 really good avenues, but there's just third time has to be the charm. Mercy staggers backward. But Mercy staggers backward, with you on her. My love, this is not appropriate. I have to keep this on. You told me to, and I cannot disobey that. I will see you on the stage for a real kiss. I love you, Yang. And she turns robotically and heads for the stairs. I think on that, we can cut to a quick break. Let's compose ourselves before the ceremony. Yeah, it's going to be a quick, I'm just adjust the timer. It's going to be a quick 5-minute break. So it's 10:18 here. So let's come back before 10:20. All right, that's not right. Before 10:25. Yeah, we'll be back before 10:25. We love you all so much. Thanks for sticking around. What a crazy session so far. Let's see you in 5. Sheesh. Hi, friends. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Hounds of Mercy. We're just gonna get right back into it. Use !CW for a list of content warnings in chat. And with that out of the way, let's do it. I think we're gonna cut right back to the boathouse that Mercy is in. Jaron, you hear footsteps creaking above you as you're on this ladder, and you can hear by the timber and the heft behind those footsteps, it's Mercy. She's about to come down that ladder real soon, and that owlbear statue is starting to get shoved deeper in, and the door's starting to come open. What do you do?
I've heard that entire conversation, correct?
Yes, the whole thing.
Okay, so Jaron can piece together that Mercy is not in her right mind right now. There's about to be a marriage against her will. Knowing what Lolly can do, Jaron is going to try and trip Mercy, catch her, and basically bind her.
Well, with what?
We have rope on us all the time, correct? In our packs? No? Can we find rope in the house?
Is your pack on you?
I did take it with me to the bar. I did specifically say that I brought it because it had the cigarette box in it. So I like to think that Jaron keeps it with him at all times, only because, not because they care about the other shit in it, but just because the cigarette box is in it. Okay.
Just make me a, let's say, wisdom survival check to dig through your pack and find the correct items, because it's we're on a timer here, right? As Mercy's starting to come down this ladder.
19.
Okay, let me just make a quick check here. Okay, you unravel a length of rope, from your pack, and you're, getting it ready. You're I've got time to do this, right as the door, bursts open. And these, 2 guards, just bustle in. So, I'm gonna give you a split second to react. Are you gonna just go for Mercy, or are you gonna hide back into the shadows?
I think I'm gonna hide. If there's guards coming, I'm gonna hide.
Totally. So I'm gonna keep your stealth check from earlier and say you just, oh my god, upon hearing the noise, it's immediate instinctual reaction, you just glide back into the shadows, you jump off from the ladder, and you maybe hide behind that same owlbear statue that Sitlali hid behind earlier, as Mercy does the final, like, stomp with her boot, like, onto the ground level. And the two guards go, there you are. All right, good. Come, why did you... Never mind, we have to go. Just ignore the owlbear statue. Come on, the captain's gonna have our heads otherwise. Yes, of course. I will be there to marry my beloved. Good. All right, wedding time, let's go! And the guards with that escort Mercy out. And Gentle from the audience, you see, flanked on either side by a guard, Mercy. She's dressed beautifully, but there's something off with her expression, okay? Like, it looks really placid, like the surface of an undisturbed pond, and like her eye has like a really faraway look as she goes up the steps onto the helm, right? And you get like a full view of her. The entire helm is just like cast in this beautiful torchlight, and the music, the wedding music played by this group of bards starts to swell up as like Mercy takes these like slow, almost plodding, robotic steps forward toward Captain Schur, who is standing on one side of the archway. And then we cut back to inside the boathouse with Sitlali and Jiran.
So I think while Mercy was climbing back down, I changed back into myself. Because being disguised as the captain does not... I don't care. And I'll climb down. Do I see Jiran? Does Jiran...
When you climb down, Jiran will come out of the shadows.
Okay. And I will quickly explain the whole enchantment ring situation, but I will also... I don't think it's quite sunk in, but like, I just kind of cast light and I'm like, I think I can do this again.
How did... Lonely's not back.
No, Lonely's dead.
How did you get your magic back?
Raven Queen bless, I guess. Let's go. And I book it.
Okay. Compartmentalizing. We can deal with that later. And Jiran will follow Sitlali.
Okay, the two of you book it out of this boathouse, and you enter into the crowd in time to see all three of you now in like different parts of like this audience see Mercy come to a stop in front of this like archway and face Captain Schur. And you see this like old halfling come up to like step on top of this like little soapbox and pull open this scroll that like drops between them and like rolls down the stage and like off the stage onto the ground and starts to say wedding things. Long ago, when the Eight first created Andake, one of the first emotions they made was love. You know, like it starts doing the thing as like Mercy's standing there looking down at Schur, who's oh my, fanning herself, and you see the like her gray hair has sort of cleared and almost turned to white and blue, like almost like blue skies, because she's so happy, like billowing behind her, and she's like, ooh, smiling at the audience and then turning back to look at Mercy.
I want to mention that when Sitlali had told Jiran about everything that had happened, Jiran would have also mentioned what they witnessed outside when they met Captain Schur. So like the lightning bolt striking their hair and like the anger. Just to warn you.
You're gonna fucking die, so what does it matter? And I think...
Just make sure that you don't die.
We're getting Mercy back. That's what matters. And I think once the four of us, I'm counting Bud, the four of us reconvene, banking on the vows being really long and this being really ceremonial and egotistical, I think I will pull us kind of to the side if I can. And just kind of... Okay. Look, I know I've been shitty to both of you. And I'm sorry. I have been a shitty person. I have been a shitty friend. I am probably still both of those things. I doubt those things will not be true tomorrow. But we have a job to do. And I need both of you as a person and in terms of this mission. Okay? So let's save Mercy, okay? And I would like to use my inspiring leader feat to give a motivational speech, which grants up to 6, so all 4 of us, including Bud, my level plus my charisma modifier, so 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Are we ready? Are we ready to ruin this wedding and possibly die?
I love you guys, and I'm so sorry as well, Sitlali. I've been wanting to say that for a while.
You don't have anything to be sorry about, Gentle.
No, but I do feel like if we're being honest here, the shitty person, shitty friend thing has been contagious, let's just say. And I'm sorry too.
How about we all group hug about it after we get Mercy back?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, you turn your attention back to the stage where the old halfling has finished talking and is like rolling the scroll back up again, and it's time for vows. So Captain Sure is in the middle of saying, "So, Mercy, when we first met off the shores of the Dragon Fang coast, I knew you were something special. The way you swung that big sword around. The way you even tried to kill me when I kidnapped you the first time. But what a whirlwind romance we had. I could never forget you." She pulls out a hand and strokes the side of Mercy's face. "In fact, I loved you so much that when you tried to leave, I just had to take this from you." And her hand lingers on the eye patch. "But that's made you who you are, hasn't it? That's made us both who we are." And she like strokes the greatsword scar like on her on her neck, going down to her clavicle. "And I'm so glad we're going to be spending the rest of our lives together. Just
Like
you
hell
and
you
me."
will, bitch!
Go on.
And I would like to try to muscle my way to the fucking stairs and get up on the
gasp.
stage.
A massive gasp like resounds through the gathered pirates. Everyone turns to look at you. Captain Sure stops. Her face freezes. And she turns to look at you. And I think everyone's so shocked that you're able to get to the stage. There's like, an intake of breath, silence. Even the crickets stop chirping as you pull yourself up onto the helm. Who the fuck are you, bitch? And Captain Sure's hair turns from bright clear blue and white in like a single shimmering motion to like pure gray. And it starts to fan out like behind her shoulders, and you hear like booms coming like from her, and you see bolts of lightning streak through her hair.
You did a great job on the enchantment to keep her nice and docile, but it won't last forever, and it's also a really fucked up thing to do.
Enchantment. Oh, you mean my silly little ring that I imbued with magic myself? Well, here's the thing about charm, magic girl. It only draws upon what's already in the heart.
You're full of shit, and I cast Blight.
How does that work?
It's a con save.
Okay, against what?
Oh fuck, I meant to do the thing again. Can we say I did the thing when I interrupted her dramatically?
Yeah, what thing?
Fuck, the cursey thing. How does it work? I always forget I have this. No, not that one. Fuck it, this channel divinity. The next time you or an ally of yours hits the cursed creature with a target, the creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage, and then the curse ends.
You're gonna
so
curse
it's
her?
just, yeah, so that, like, me yelling out would have been the curse.
Okay, great. Let's say it
Okay.
is. Maybe that's why everyone's so preternaturally quiet when you like clamber onto the stage.
Thank you.
What's the save DC?
So, 16.
She gets a 6. So how does that work?
Okay. Okay. So she's gonna take 8d8 necrotic.
Okay. Roll them bones.
Let me find my d8s, because I didn't think I would need that many this session. Fuck me. Okay.
Hopefully Mercy will later.
8. If I just yell numbers, can people do math for me? Because I have dyscalculia.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
8, 6, 4, 8, 8. How many was that?
10 plus 16 is 26 plus 8. 34.
5, because it's 8d8. How many d8 am I at?
I think 6.
1, 2,
7.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, plus 7. And one more.
8.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, so 13 plus 8 is 21 plus 34 is 55. You deal 55 points of necrotic damage. What does it look like?
I think where their magic with Lonely was like really slick and looked like tar, Sitlali's magic looks like it's this like incredible emotional like array of colors. It's like every color that is normally in their hair. It is, and you've never seen her cast like this, like even before Lonely. Like it is just a stream of pinks and blues and purples and golds, and it just goes for that fucking for the throat. You're muted.
I freaking love that. As these colors just burst out of you, as like magic explodes from you and slams into her, she reels and she needs to make a concentration check over the charm spell, which, because you dealt 55 points of damage, is going to have a DC of 27, and that's a constitution save. So, yeah, she fails it. There's no way. So as she reels backward, right, and I think you, like, leech the life off of her. Like, you see, like, the tips of her fingers wither. Like, even her hair starts to turn gray and, like, dead. Like, at, like, the roots starts to spread down. She lets out this, like, horrific, high-pitched scream, reels back, her back slams against the arch, and the ring on her finger shatters, as does the ring on Mercy's finger. And Mercy also stumbles backward as this blast of magic emanates from your body. Where? How? And amidst the chaos, as every single pirate in here draws their sword, Mercy locks eyes with you, Sitlali, and says again, Sitlali, you came. You're muted.
Of course I did.
Oh, my head, what? You. And Mercy's eyes land on Yang, who's like gasping and like clawing on. I think the vines that have twined up the archway have withered and crumbled into dust from your explosion of necrotic damage. And she like grabs a fistful of this crumbling vine and crushes the dust in her hand. But she looks at you, she looks so much older. It seems like maybe some sort of magic has been woven to keep her looking young. She's got like her veins are like popping out on her neck. Her eyes are wide. Her hair is going like wild around her. You little young. Enough. This is insane. This is unhinged. Even for you. I don't love you, Yang. I never have. don't say that, Mercy. That's not true. Remember that whirlwind romance we had when I kidnapped me? When you kidnapped me? Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't know what sort of spell you put me under back then, and I don't know what sort of spell you put me under right now. But it will never make me or anyone else love you, Young. And I don't even think that you love me. This isn't love. This is obsession. This is control. The control you have over all of these pirates. Hi, by the way. Hello, I'm Mercy, I guess. That doesn't matter right now. They only listen to you, Yang, because they're scared of you. That's how you get respect, not because they love you, not because they care about you, because they're scared you're gonna chop their frickin' heads off. Sitlali, let's get the hell out of here.
You don't have to tell me twice.
No! Boom! Crash! The sound of her ass. Oh no, like this lightning just like explodes out of Captain Sure as she like starts to levitate off the ground, and storm magic starts swirling around her, a veritable whirlwind of just force and electricity and thunder crashing. And at this, all the pirates who had drawn their swords start to shout and cower, and some of their like bravery breaks, and some of them like start to run away from her. They seem like used to this, and they know what's coming next, and they don't want to be a part of it. What do the three of you do?
I'm gonna take a couple steps closer and go, oh, what? Did you want a second?
To Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Her eyes at this point are like sparking with the electricity, like almost like Storm from X-Men when she like uses her storm powers. Are like bright white and like Thor. You little wench! You ruined everything! She is mine!
She doesn't belong to anyone, and you ruined it yourself, so...
How dare you! And electricity starts shooting out from this tornado every which way. Just the three of you, and Mercy included. Just make a dex save for me.
$22.
Okay, that is successful.
20 and I have evasion.
Okay, that is also successful. Sitlali?
11.
That is not successful.
didn't
Mercy.
think so.
Mercy also saves. Ooh, she got a natural 20. So I think, yay, I finally got my natural 20. I think what that means for Mercy, if that's okay with you, Sitlali, is she's gonna see a bolt of lightning streak toward you, and she's gonna shove you out of the way. She's gonna grab you, like tackle you, and just shove you, and she's gonna take it instead. So you're gonna take no damage, and Mercy's gonna take full damage, I think is what that means. It's okay, she can take it. It's just a bolt of lightning. How much could it cost? $5?
I can also take it.
Those who
Shove
save,
her out of the way.
those who save are gonna take half damage.
Homosexual gay.
Oh my god, you're so gay. So Jaron and Gentle, both of you take half damage, which is going to be 23 points of lightning damage.
I take no damage.
I also have evasion and take no
Dex
damage.
saves,
As well.
Oh my
baby. Monk and rogue forever.
I hate that. It's so broken. Okay, yeah, you
Just
take
like
no
old
damage.
times.
Bud also saves, is going to take 23 points of damage. As like lightning shoots out and Bud lets out.
I will take damage for Bud.
Okay. Then let's say you absorb the 23 points instead of Bud. As you like roll in front of him and he's letting out.
What's happening? This is the worst fucking night ever!
As Gentle, you like roll onto them and like lightning sparks off of you. Huge bolts of electricity smash into trees, destroy tables, blast holes into like the hull of the Siren Song, like completely upend carts. Mercy's gonna take the full damage, which is like 46 points, as she shoves you out of the way, Sitlali. Like, oh, and like a huge bolt of lightning just zaps right into her, and she staggers. Quick, she has to recharge after this. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, running. We're running. Yes.
Okay.
Can I cast something?
Yes, go for it, Gentle.
I'm gonna cast Wall of Water, and you can sort of like direct that, correct?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, no, I just make it like sort of go around a big circle, and because it can be 30 feet tall or something, is that just enough from floor to ceiling?
Yeah, there's no ceiling, but it can completely cover her if you're trying to make a ring around her.
Yeah, I will make a ring completely around her to buy us some time.
You do it. Describe to me what it looks like.
I think the first time I've actually used one of my like spells. So I think it's not a common occurrence, but this is a big enough situation. Bud just almost got hurt. I think I just sort of quietly tune into the world around me, especially because this is a concentration-based thing. And just think about probably the calamity and not letting a feeling like that happen again. And all of my spells are very much like about mitigating fighting. Not really about actually inflicting damage, but just stopping it from happening. So I think you get this very big sense of protection and calm sort of coming over everything as I try to just keep her busy long enough for us to get moving.
I love that. A tsunami wave of magic rises up in you and crashes out into existence on the stage, swirls in this thick wall of water, completely covering this tornado she's built around herself, swirling 30 feet into the air, and her screams of fury and rage are muffled as bolts of electricity struggle to get past this thick wall of water you've wrought. And now Mercy's fucking booking it. She's going, I'll just, my sword. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Come on, let's go. And she's like patting her body to make sure she's got the essentials on her. And she's booking it toward like the southern shore, right? And she's saying to all of you, I kind of remember while I was in that charmed state, I guess, some sort of like series of canoes that we can take. Let's just go straight north. Dragonfang Coast, Rosso. Yes, Gentle, you don't have to raise your hand. We're fleeing.
Where's your sword?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it's on the Last Kiss. That's the name of her ship.
We're not leaving without it.
I hand one of you Bud. I'm the fastest one here. I'll be right back.
Gentle, it's just a hunk of metal. A hunk of metal I love
It's your
very
sword.
much.
It's your sword. I'll be back.
Okay, go. Be careful.
Gentle, do you want someone to go with you?
You'll slow me down. No offense. And I run.
Okay, Gentle, you book it like perpendicular, like as all of you are approaching the shore, and you're like leaving the warmth and the light of like the torches behind, and your feet start stomping from like paved wood to like this gravelly sand, and you start to see like the dark ocean spread out in front of you. You also see the Last Kiss bobbing in the surf, right? This like black-hulled, black-sailed junk, where Mercy's sword is. Gentle, you make a beeline for that as Mercy leads the rest of you. I think she's like holding Bud. She's going, God damn, Bud's gotten a lot bigger since I last saw him.
That's right. I learned a lot more things too. You know, I can just run now, right?
Wow, right, you can talk. I completely forgot about that. Okay, there you go, buddy. And Mercy drops Bud onto the ground, and Bud starts running and outpaces all of you, I think, because Bud's speed at this point is like 50 feet or something, as you head down toward the harbor where there's a series of like dugout canoes, just like leashed to the dock. Cutting really quickly to Gentle. I'm just gonna have you make just a general investigation check. Wisdom investigation. Because you're relying on your monk senses. Yes.
Okay. I guess part of this investigation is, are there other people in the boat?
They've all left for the wedding.
I have water vehicles proficiency.
What?
This was I've had sailors my background the entire time.
Oh my god. It's finally happening.
I can breathe underwater and I can swim. This is built for me.
Oh my god. Instead of investigation, I just need you to make a vehicle handling check, my good friend. That is going to be dexterity sleight of hand, dexterity plus your proficiency in water vehicles.
Okay. Dex plus proficiency. I'm going to use one of my inspirations Roll again.
Okay.
First one's not bad, but I think it could be better. Okay, so plus that, plus proficiency. That is a dirty 20.
Sheesh. Okay. As Mercy is sort of hunched over this like series of small canoes trying to unlatch one of them from the rest of their brethren, she's going, oh shit, damn it. I don't know how long that wall of water is going to keep her back. She's really scary when she's angry. All of you, Jaron and Sitlali, you see the last kiss unmoor and begin to drift toward you. Please tell me that's gentle.
Hi.
What? You absolute unhinged delusional genius. Let's get on.
And we scramble onto the boat.
Okay. Jaron, Sitlali, Mercy, the three of you and Bud scramble up onto the boat, right? As the boat's with like freaking Gentle at the helm, steering. The sail is coming loose, right? You carry this boat out of the surf as a huge rush of pirates start to like rush onto the beach, but it's too late. Y'all are like several dozen feet out into the water already at this point, and you see like this swirling tornado of fury as Captain Shur is like screaming like a banshee, like coming down what was supposed to be her wedding aisle alone, her hair just flashing lightning, but she can't reach you. You're too far away. She stops at the shore, floating ensconced in this water, and is shooting bolts of lightning after you, as some of it just glances off of the hull. And it seems like this ship is like magically enchanted, as like her lightning bolts are just glancing off of the side of her own ship. And Mercy on the prow, like looking back, let's say on the helm, looking back at everything, is going, hey, see you later, darling. See you never. Actually, let's never meet again. Ever, ever, ever. You guys are insane.
It's nice to have you back, Mercy.
It's nice to fucking be back. Ugh, my head still hurts from that spell, but I can't believe it. All of you just really kept looking for me.
Go and fucking kiss her.
Okay, yeah. Mercy turns to you as you rush up to her. She pulls you in.
I am 5'2".
She pulls you up and in. She leans down and kisses you. And I think on that kiss, that's when you feel all this magic that had been unleashed within you, like bubble up and flow freely. And we see like pops of that like color, like spark off of Sitlali's hair, the golds, the greens, like the silvers, the blacks, everything, the purples, as like a little firework display, I think goes off as the two of you kiss at the helm. Right? And like a perfect like mirror of what like a wedding kiss would be, like on the literal helm, right back at the wreck as you kiss, like silhouetted by these like exploding lights. We fade down from the scene. Yes, Gentle.
I forgot to get a piece of the pig, and I'm so upset.
No. As Mercy and Sitlali are kissing, you're thinking about the pig at like the steering wheel. Bud trots up to you, fishes around in his fur, and pulls out a beautiful chunk of that pig that he had like stolen from the banquet table.
It's for me, and me only, 'cause I don't know if the rest of you deserve it.
It's all yours, buddy.
And Bud digs in. We fade out, and when we fade back up, I think this is sort of like a coda or like an epilogue, a really quick tag on this episode. A couple days later, sailing the open ocean, water all around you, sunless sky above you, we find Mercy, sat at the helm, Sitlali by her side. I think Jaron and Gentle, both of you can also be there. I think the ship can be left on autopilot for a little bit. As Mercy sort of like leaned over this like crate she's found and has Unmei's water in one hand. I'm so glad we were able to find this on the last kiss. All right, let's see where that fucker is. She uncorks Unmei's water and dabs like a drop onto the crate. All of you lean in and look. Bud leans in as well. And you all watch as the water shimmers, wiggles, and then begins to spin. It just spins and spins and spins. What the fuck?
Does this mean they're here? Like, here?
I don't think so. I think it means they're lost. Or they're trapped inside something. Only something magical could interfere like this. All of you look back down at the water as it continues to just spin and spin and spin, almost like the Ferris wheel of a carnival. And with that, we are going to fade to black on this episode, episode 5. That's it. That's all we get on the Hounds. Happy ending. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I thank you for your patience, as this is the longest episode ever. And around my tummy problems, my health problems, I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone. I've been Connie. Real quick outro. Pronouns they, he, she. Follow me on Twitter. Bye, Connie Chong. Pass it along to Dare.
Hi, I'm Dare. If you've enjoyed anything I've done today, wholesome or rancid, please check me out on Twitter and TikTok at NBDare, ENBYDARE. If you happen to like dice, might have served me very well today. I got some new glow-in-the-dark ones from my friends over at Die Hard Dice. So go to dieharddice.com, use the promo code DARE for 10% off. If you happen to like coffee from a queer-owned black business, I'd recommend going to grindycoffee.co and using the promo code FOREST for 10% off. And in terms of things and places I'll be, I just recommend Saturday, I'll be playing Masks again. I love that game so much. At RF Chaos, it's really, really fun. I'm playing a disaster trans girl, much like myself, but only slightly more awkward.
Awesome. Let's go to Quinn.
Hello, I'm Quinn. I use they, she pronouns. Follow me on Twitter at Quintastic_ to see what I'm up to.
Heck yeah, let's go to Humna.
Hello everyone, my name's Humna. I use any and all pronouns. I'm a TTRPG performer. Follow me on Twitter at hshahid_ to see what I will be up to lately.
Heck yeah, and with that, come back to me. It's Connie. This is for the final outro. Tune in for episode 6 of the Hounds of Mercy next Tuesday, October 26th at 7 p.m. Central U.S. time right here on Twitch. Also tune in to the next installment of our main campaign episode, Saturdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Central time. The next one's going to be this Saturday, October 23rd at 3 p.m. U.S. Central time. There are no live channels for us to raid. Everyone else has gone to sleep. So I think we're just going to bid you all to a good night's sleep. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We love you all so much. Let's try to hit 275, our next goal, our next incentive unlocked for our next episode. Thank you all so much for all of your support. We love you. See you soon. Peace.